Yeah, this is case number 525 on the calendar in the matter of Carnahan versus Parisi. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
All right, this doesn't look like a very complicated case. Let's see how expeditiously we can deal with it. Can I have the ring, please? Mr. Carnahan, this is your former fiancée. She is the mother of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
You were engaged. You broke off the engagement. You want the ring back.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why you shouldn't have the ring back.
He should not have the ring back because he has cheated on me, he was physically abusive, and agreed to stop drug use in order to continue on with the marriage. And he did not do as he agreed.
And what did you find out about first? Cheating or the drugs or being abusive?
First was the abusive.
Okay. That should have been your first clue. Arrivederci, adios, sayonara, whatever, goodbye. Who are you?
I am her mother.
Right. You could sit down. You agree with me?
Totally. Went
Good.
through that for 7 years.
Good. So after he abused you, you stayed with him for 7 years, and did he abuse you before or after you had a child with him?
After.
Before you had a child with him, he wasn't abusive?
A little bit. More verbally abusive.
Abusive is abusive. So, he's abusive, you have a child with him, then he becomes verbally and physically abusive. And when was he using the drugs, before or after you had the child?
After.
And what about you?
I used drugs with him at the end.
After?
After the child, yes.
And when did he cheat on you?
In December of '04.
So you think that you're lucky to be rid of him, right?
Correct.
Who's paying for the ring?
My mother has for the past 5 months.
Is that right?
That's incorrect.
Well, show me the bills and show me your checks that you paid for it.
She did make 2 payments. We had a verbal agreement. I had a verbal agreement with Linda.
When was the last time you made a payment?
November. She made December and January.
How many payments did you make?
Your Honor, he stopped making payments. She moved back into my house in June. He immediately stopped making payments.
On the ring?
On the car.
I'm not talking about the... I don't care. Listen.
Okay, the
I'm
ring
talking
was
about
paid
ring.
for.
What?
The ring was paid for by my co-signing of a note on his car.
So the car is actually
Financed.
paid off. I mean, the ring's actually paid off, I'm sorry.
ring was
just
paid
a
upon
second.
purchasing.
I see. So you used the car as collateral?
Exactly.
And they've got the car also.
How much did you physically actually pay towards this ring?
The whole entire amount.
Well, you paid for it with a car loan.
That's correct.
And when was the last time you paid on the car loan?
November. November, December. I've been trying to have verbal. I had a verbal agreement with her. She used my daughter as a pawn to come and try to repossess my car, and you know, I mean, they owe me money. Samantha owes me $500
Listen,
previous to this.
Shh. Just a second. I'm getting unsympathetic with you, sir.
Okay.
How much did the ring cost?
$42.95.
How much did you take out a loan on the car for?
I put $1,000 down. I had $1,000 cash in the bank, and I put down $32.95 that I borrowed from the bank.
Do you have the car?
Well, it's, yeah, repossessor has it in storage.
Okay, so you have the car.
I have the car because when she left the relationship in June, he stopped making payments.
On the car?
On the car.
I understand that, but the car... Let's say this and the car are one and the same as far as the money is concerned.
Right.
So if you have the car, he gets to keep the ring. If you have the car...
Well, but there was more to it. When she left the house, he took all the furnishings.
Sit down. I'm
and...
not... Listen to me.
Okay.
Sit down. Listen. Sit down. Give him the ring. You people are playing with each other. You're not going to play with me. Okay, now you have the ring back. Now I get to the counterclaim. You lived in an apartment together.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You say in your counterclaim that you were being sued by the landlord for unpaid rent after you left that he should be responsible for, that you have paid. Can I see that you have paid money to the landlord? Are you on the lease?
Yes.
Good. How much did you pay?
I am making monthly payments.
In what amount?
I owe $100 a month for 12 months.
Because they evicted you, is that right? They evicted you, is that right?
No, ma'am.
That's what the manager said.
I'd already moved out. I mean, when they filed for that deal, I was already moving out. I was in the process of moving out. They were.
When was your lease up, sir?
I'd say probably June or July the lease was up.
Why do you think she should be responsible for this $1,200?
Not the total $1,200. I don't believe she's totally responsible for that. I mean, I feel I'm half responsible just as well as she.
Good, give me the ring back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The day that she came over, are you telling me that all the furniture was still in the apartment?
There was a majority of the furniture in the apartment.
I said, was all the furniture in the apartment?
I'd taken.
Be careful what you tell me.
And later today,
I paid her everything that she was owed.
That's not what you said here.
Well, maybe that's my wording and not your wording.
That's not what you say here, madam. I can read English. It's the first prerequisite for this job.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Derek Carnahan says ex-fiancée Samantha Parisi won't return the engagement ring. Samantha says Derek abused her and cheated on her.
You threw her out of the apartment.
No, I didn't totally throw her out.
Oh, yes, you did. That's what you said. That's what you swore to in your complaint. You said, I broke up with her and told her to leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when you moved into this apartment, who purchased the furniture?
It was mainly my furniture. It's my furniture. I purchased the furniture.
Show me.
There's nothing I can show you. I mean, I've got a list of furniture she's got, that she took, and I took some, and she took some. And
She took some when she left?
Yes.
What did you take when you left?
A bag with about a week's worth of clothing in it and the clothes on my
What
back.
furniture did she take?
She's got the big screen TV. She's got the kitchen
Just
tables.
a second.
2 of them.
Did you take the big screen TV when you left?
Yes, I did take the TV.
What else?
DVD player, surround sound.
Was that left?
The DVD player was a gift from my mother for Christmas.
And the TV?
We had purchased that.
What else did you take?
All my daughter's belongings, her toys, everything of that nature.
Well, where was the child living?
The child was living with Linda.
So why shouldn't she take the child's toys?
She come and stayed with me, too. at given times. And, she took
Listen
everything.
to me, sir.
Yes.
Why did you leave the TV there when you moved out?
I didn't leave it out. She come over while I was gone and took all this stuff.
Just a second. The day that she came over with the landlord, are you telling me that all the furniture was still in the apartment?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
All of the furniture was still in the apartment?
There was a majority of the furniture in the apartment.
I said, was all the furniture in the apartment?
No, not all of it.
What had you taken out?
I'd taken...
Be careful what you tell me.
I'd taken my bedroom furniture.
So the bedroom furniture was gone. What else?
I believe the couch was gone.
So the living room furniture was gone. What else?
And that's about it. I took the couch, the recliner, and my bedroom furniture.
Who bought the couch?
I did.
Is that right?
The couch I do believe he paid for.
And the bedroom furniture?
My money also.
Is that right?
I've got the receipt here. It is in his name, but I have showing that the purchase was taken out of my personal checking account.
Can I see it?
Also, there's a mattress, a Serta pillow top mattress that my mother had purchased, and I don't have a receipt or anything on that. I have an estimate.
Is that right, sir?
She wrote a check for it, and I gave her the cash money.
Well, where did she get money to put in a checking account?
From me.
Only from you? You were the only one working?
Yes, at this time, she didn't work. She hasn't worked. She didn't work for over a year. I supported her and my daughter. She didn't go to school. She didn't work. She didn't do nothing.
Well, who took care of your daughter?
For a period of about 3 months, her mother was watching our daughter.
And what was she doing?
Nothing.
You mean that your daughter was living with her grandmother?
Yes, and Samantha did absolutely nothing.
Just a minute. Let me understand this. Baby was living with the grandmother.
Yes.
And she was living with you.
Yes.
And you permitted that?
I didn't want that, but at a particular time, my name wasn't on the birth certificate due to the help and coaching of Samantha's mother, Linda. So when Linda gets custody of my daughter, I went down to Oklahoma City and filed and put my name on the birth certificate to seek custody.
I have a question for you. Would you stand up, please? You turned the truck. We're getting back to the truck. You turned the truck into the bank.
Yes.
Do you have anything from the bank indicating that they are going to come against you or Mr. Carnahan for a bulk amount of money? Because I assume that they've sold the truck.
No, it's still in storage, and I do have
storage
the
with
note that when they repossessed it, according to the law, they have to put it in storage for 10 or 15 days and give him the opportunity to pay the balance of the note.
And what's the balance of the note?
$2,600 and some odd dollars.
She gets the ring. Thank you very much. Listen to me. This is how this matter is resolved. Sell the ring. Pay off the car. Got it?
Yes.
Get your name out of anything that has to do with his loan. He may get the car because it's titled in his name. He may get it back. Your obligation is going to be over. Do you understand that, sir? You don't like it? That's too bad.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Derek Carnahan says ex-fiancée Samantha Parisi won't return the engagement ring. Samantha says Derek abused her and cheated on her.
If she sells the ring and gives the bank the money, you should be able to get the car back.
Well, the police have called her and told her they were going to press criminal felony charges if she didn't return the car, and she said...
You should have made the payment, sir. You brought it on by yourself. You're a smart aleck. Should have made the payments, then she wouldn't have had any excuse whatsoever to have the truck repossessed. Clear? Good. I'm not getting into your furniture. It's far too complicated and really very unimportant. You left last summer. If the furniture wasn't so important to you last summer, it shouldn't be important to you this spring. Do you understand? But I don't believe that you should be responsible for rent on the apartment because he threw you out of the apartment. He told you to leave. On your counterclaim, I'm giving you a judgment of $1,200. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He made my life miserable, which resulted in using drugs, and I became a codependent.
She was the only one issued a drug rehabilitation, so she's got the drug problem, not me.
He's a liar. My daughter does not even visit him. She's not allowed to see him.
I've got to hire an attorney and seek legal advice and have a paternity test done. You know, it's going to cost me a couple $1,000s, you know.
He went out, he and his friends, and had a sexual encounter with a woman, and then her life really spiraled.
It's obvious her mom coaches her through pretty much everything. I mean, this is, you know, her 6th marriage, so she's pretty in tune on how the legal system works.
He's abusive and he's crazy. He's got major issues.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Real versus Morris. Step forward, please.
21-year-old child care provider Chandra Real is suing her former employer, waitress Regina Morris, for unpaid babysitting fees and for defamation of character. Chandra says Regina is accusing her of being a marijuana smoker.
Ms. Real, according to your complaint, this is your mother?
Yes, this is.
Mother, the defendant, live in the same complex, and you were asked to do some babysitting for Miss Morris. You were supposed to be paid $20 a night. She was waitressing at night, and you were staying with her children. You did that for a while, and then, according to you, she stopped paying you the $20.
Yes.
You continued to work for her, according to you, for about 13 days.
Yes.
And she didn't pay you.
Yes.
When you complained about her not paying you, you finally stopped babysitting for her. She posted a very derogatory letter about you.
Yes.
And Ms. Morris says that she paid you everything that she was supposed to pay you and that everything she wrote in that letter was true. When did you start babysitting for her?
Approximately May 2004.
And when did you stop babysitting for her?
July 14, 2004.
When did she stop paying you?
She stopped paying me on June 22nd, 2004.
Did she tell you why?
No, she just told me every morning that she would pay me, and she no longer started to pay me.
Now tell me about this libel that you allege.
She left a note on my door saying that she doesn't pay sitters who smoke pot.
May I see the letter that you put on your door?
Yes, you may.
Did you send her a statement?
Yes, I did.
And what kind of statement?
It was just the days that she did not pay me.
Can I see the statement?
That I will file in small claims court if I didn't hear anything.
So I have a copy of what she sent to you, Miss Morris. And your response to her a few days later is interesting. You don't deny that you owe her the money.
I paid her everything that she was owed.
No, that's not what you say in here.
I'm a waitress.
Listen to me.
Always paid
That's not
daily.
what you say here. You say, first, you need to learn how to add. Second, I don't pay sitters who smoke pot while they watch my child. Then you say, also at Hunter's birthday party, you had 2 children you were watching, you didn't help me. And then you say to her, provide a copy of our contract. Also, since you seem to be claiming this as income, I'm forwarding you a 1099. So, listen to me very carefully, Miss Morris. I read your answer. Your answer says I don't owe her any money. I paid her, which is what you just started to tell me.
I paid.
And I'm telling you.
I didn't pay her for the swim party.
I'm speaking, and I'm telling you that if I received this, which is a statement of account, to which you refer in your letter, I would write, Sandra, according to my records, I paid you each time you babysat for my children. 2, the only thing I did not pay you for was the birthday party because you brought 2 other children and you didn't watch my child.
That's right.
That's not what you said here.
Well, maybe that's my wording and not your wording.
That's not what you say here, madam. I can read English. It's the first prerequisite for this job. What it says is, I don't pay sitters who smoke pot.
Right.
What does that have to do with not paying her for the birthday party?
Because she didn't do anything at the birthday party.
That's just to say you're talking apples and oranges.
Well, you just said what does it have to do with the birthday party? I'm explaining.
You know, it doesn't. Because in your answer, you don't say that she was smoking pot at the birthday party. You say you weren't paying her for the birthday party because she was watching 2 children. These are 2 separate paragraphs. 1, 2. Second paragraph, you refer to not paying her at the birthday party because she didn't do anything. First paragraph says, I don't pay people who smoke pot.
You're right, and she padded her bill. I mean, she added on things. She made it this big old bill that should never be, and she even admitted to me that it was because she had to make a payment to her probation officer when she was in trouble for credit card
You're lying.
fraud.
You're lying. Listen to me. You're lying.
No, I am not lying.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't think so.
This is your handwriting, and common sense usually prevails in a court. Common sense would suggest that if someone sent you a claim letter and you chose to respond to it, you would state first, I do not owe you any money because I paid you. And not one place here did you say that. 2 sides. Not one place here did you say that. So I find that you're lying and you owe $260. Now, the question is, where was this placed?
My mother found it underneath the doormat, where any of the neighbors could have read it.
But
I
nobody,
do not know who read it.
there is no, you have no proof that anybody did read it.
No, I do not.
Fine, then that's not libel. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
It has to be published.
Yes.
And it was not published. So she owes you $260 judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yes, I was on.
Your Honor, this is case number 576 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Christensen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lewis, who is this young lady?
This is my fiance.
And Miss Christensen, who is this gentleman?
This is my husband, Jamie.
Are these people here for moral support? Is that what this is all about?
Character.
Character. I acknowledge the fact that the 2 of you have a character. You also have a child together.
Yes.
You have any other children?
No, I don't.
You have any other children?
I have 2 other children.
How old are they?
A 4-year-old and a 16-month-old.
And how old is the child that you share?
She's 7.
Did you live together before she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Before she's born, year and a half.
Did you live together after she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Almost 2 years.
Any reason why you never married?
Just didn't work out.
Different goals in life.
Different goals, but the one goal that you had in common was having a child together. Perfect. This is what the case is about. After you separated, ultimately, the courts got involved and set up a child support order as well as an order that directed that each of you would change claiming the child as a deduction on your income tax returns. This past year was your year, Mr. Lewis, to claim the child as a deduction. The caveat was that you had to be current with your child support. When you went to claim the child on your tax returns, you were advised by, I assume, your tax preparer that Mrs. Christensen had already claimed her as a deduction, despite the fact that the court order allowed you to do it. So you want what would have been your refund for the child.
That's right.
Ms. Christensen says that you were not current in your child support payments, and therefore it didn't trigger your claiming the child as a deduction. She is counterclaiming for some nonsense. which says that because your check is garnished for your child support, a certain amount is deducted for administrative costs for the deduction of your child support, and she thinks that you should pay her that amount. That's what your counterclaim is. It's really nonsense. That's something that the state imposes, not the plaintiff. Okay? Let me see the last order of support and the first order of support.
That's the only order that was made.
Yeah.
One
only
order.
got one. Mm-hmm.
You petitioned the court, is that right, sir?
Yes, I did.
For an order of paternity, custody, and/or visitation. Was that because you were having problems with visitation?
Yeah, she told me I had no rights to my daughter. And to take
How
her to
long have you
court.
been married, Miss Christensen?
5 years.
How often were you seeing your daughter at the time that Miss Christensen got married?
Every other Sunday. Started out as a weekends and went to Sundays. Her and one of my ex-girlfriends had a fight.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure.
Mr. Lewis has been sporadic with his visitation with his daughter. It is true, me and one of his girlfriends who, at the time, we didn't get along, and we got in an assault fight kind of concept on one of his visitations. So at that time, I asked that he had his visitation with my daughter at his parents' house. And then that way there wouldn't be any problems with anybody's relationships. I didn't want to be in an argument and a fight every time we had to drop or pick up our daughter. I didn't want to go over to his house and be assaulted by his girlfriend.
Well, that's absolutely correct. You shouldn't be in contact with anybody, but that doesn't mean he has to have visitation with his child at his parents' house.
I understand that, Your Honor, but Mr. Lewis has been in and out of jail for drug charges. He's led a very colorful life, and I didn't feel that
Did you
my
know
daughter...
about that when you had a...
I did, and he was going to
I'm
rehab.
speaking. Did you know about that when you had a child with him?
Correct, and he was going to rehab.
Then you picked him.
Mm-hmm.
He's your child's father.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Can't come as a surprise to you. Okay. It's clear pursuant to this agreement, Ms. Christensen, that Mr. Lewis had the right to claim your daughter on his tax returns for this year. And you did. Why?
Your Honor, he was not current.
Show me.
Okay, I have a paper here from the state.
What is your child support obligation, sir?
$216 a month.
Okay.
He was not current on his child support or his medical obligations.
Just a second. Wait 1 second. I'm looking at January. I want to find January.
I have one starting from January.
Okay. How much is owed? Just take a look at it, and I want you to read out.
$46.14 was owed.
$46?
Correct. On just the child support.
Just a second. That's all I'm interested in. $46.
Correct, Your Honor.
So that's not a reason to claim the child on your tax returns as a dependent. I will tell you that right now. Shh. And aside from the fact that he says he paid it, that $46 from whatever amount that was, but at $216 a month for the past year, if what he is $46 in arrears, I think it's overreaching, Mrs. Christensen, for you to claim that is the reason that you didn't follow the court order. You say it's more than that. So tell me what's more.
I gave him a list of the items that he owed.
I'd like to see it.
And
when did you give him the list?
He knew at the time when we...
When did you give him the list?
I gave him the list in...
February 10th.
January. And he
Just a second. Wait, whoa. Why did you wait until after the first of the year to give him a list that said that he owed Tanner Clinic $25 copay, Visual $45 copay, and health insurance for 2004 $350 yearly? Why?
Because Mr. Lewis never contacted me to ask me.
I want to tell you something.
Anything.
You're slick. You're slick, but nasty. You're a slick lady, but a nasty lady.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
And later today,
she filed false charges saying that I was an unfit parent. I can't take care of my children. They came into my house. They found nothing at all to say that I was an unfit parent.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Lewis says ex-girlfriend Nikki Christensen owes for declaring their daughter on her taxes. Nikki claims Eric is neglecting their child.
This was within your control. And if you said to me that in November I sent him a list and I said to him, this is what you owe to keep yourself current with regard to the court order, then I might have sympathy for you. It is disingenuous of you to send him this in January. You got it?
I understand.
Good. Now, how much of a benefit did you obtain by claiming the child this year on your tax returns?
I'm not even sure the full amount, Your Honor.
Do you know?
I know what I lost, not what she would have made.
Well, what did you lose?
$2,900.
Show me.
I have the copy when it was first done, and then when it was done a couple days later after they told me she'd already been claimed.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I didn't feel it was my job to go out and babysit him and tell him, you need to be paying me this. That's why I originally went and got involved with the state, to garnish his wages.
Listen to me, madam. You didn't file the petition. He did. He asked the court to set a support order. He asked the court to set a visitation order. That's the caption of the petition. Put your hand down. It doesn't mean you have to babysit him. It just means that you have to be a reasonable person. And if you had obligations that you felt as if he should have paid in 2004 in order to let him claim the child as a deduction, if you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until January 10th when he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
No, ma'am.
You chose him to father a child, and it would probably be a hell of a lot easier for you now that you're married and have 2 other children if he were no longer in your life, if he took a powder someplace and wasn't involved. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. You two are tied to each other. Get used to it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,900. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mr. Lewis has been in and out of her life, and until he's been in a serious relationship, didn't choose to really have a very adequate relationship with his daughter.
I had my daughter every other Sunday for 2 years before this.
I hope they build and bond and grow.
Oh, I'll still have her every other weekend.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blair versus Cheverini, step forward, please.
21-year-old nurse's assistant Tricia Blair is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old construction worker Joseph Cheverini, for unpaid rent and bills. Joseph says he moved out because he caught Tricia smoking marijuana with their kids.
Miss Blair, you and Mr. Cheverini lived together. You have a child together, and you have a child from a previous relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
You signed a lease for an apartment, and the thrust of your complaint is that Mr. Cheverini moved out of the apartment, leaving you with 5 months' rent to pay on the apartment, and you want him to pay the remainder of the lease, which is 5 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And he says pretty much grow up. You got a restraining order against him that was bogus. He was forced out of the house, and he has absolutely no intention
Yes, ma'am.
of paying the rent. So I have a couple of questions. When did you sign the lease?
In August of '04.
And how old are your children?
4 years old and 3 months old.
And where is the father of your 4-year-old?
He's in the Marines in North Carolina.
Were you married to him?
No.
Does he see the child?
No, he does not.
Does he support the child?
Yes, he does.
How much does he send?
$294 a month, court ordered.
When was the last time you were employed?
March of last year.
Who supported your household while you were living with Mr. Cheverini?
I collected disability.
What was the nature of your disability?
I have to have surgery on my stomach. I was born with intestinal problems, and I've had to have several surgeries to fix it.
You mean your disability didn't prevent you from having 2 children, but it prevents you from working?
Yes, I can't lift over 5 to 7 pounds. I'm not allowed to lift my arms above my head. I have problems holding down
You can't lift
food.
more than 5 to 7 pounds. Who lifts your babies?
Well, my son, he walks, but he
Well,
was
your son
a
didn't
big help.
walk when he was 3 months old or 6 months old and 9
I
months
had
old.
had surgery prior to that, and I hadn't had any problems until just before I had my daughter. My stomach surgery came undone just because it's been 8 years since I had my last surgery, just from normal wear and tear on my body.
How much does your daughter weigh now?
Right now, she weighs 13 pounds.
Who supported your household for the last year?
Me and him, we split things evenly. I gave my child support plus my disability.
You weren't collecting disability all during that time?
I have been. I have been collecting since we lived in our apartment disability. The last check I received was in October. We moved in August.
But that was
September,
before your
October.
daughter was born.
Yes.
You told me that you weren't sick before your daughter was born.
No, I
Didn't
was
you just
ill
tell me
my whole
that everything was okay until you didn't have a little more wear and tear
I'm
after
sorry,
your
Your
daughter
Honor,
was
what I
born?
meant to say was that I was having problems during my pregnancy. I was seeing my physician regularly, and he advised me that because I had found out in March that I was pregnant, that I should not work because I could not lift and it would cause harm to the baby.
There are an awful lot of things you can do without lifting 7 to 10 pounds, like answering a phone. That only weighs a couple of ounces. That's a job.
My daughter is only 3 months. I haven't been working due to the fact that she's so young right now.
So that the baby is with you all the time and you manage to lift 13 pounds.
I have no choice. He's not in the home. What am I going to do, let her starve to death?
All I'm suggesting to you, Miss Blair, is that when people scam the government, it irritates me.
I would never.
Well, you are. Because if you're lifting a 13-pound baby, you can lift something 7 pounds and get a job. And if you're taking care of a child that weighs more than 7 pounds, then whatever you said to Social Security disability, which is I cannot lift anything above 7 pounds, is not true because you do every day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tricia Blair says ex-boyfriend Joseph Cheverini owes for breaking a lease. Joseph says Tricia has a restraining order against him.
Hey, I forgot what your complaint is. All right. So there came a time he moved out of the house. When did you move out, sir?
Just recently, about a month ago.
And you took the 2 children with you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have a problem with her excessive partying.
What do you mean excessive partying? What does that mean?
You know, drinking and other uses.
I don't know. We're in court. You tell me. She drinks and she uses drugs?
Occasionally.
What kind of drugs?
Marijuana.
And when you came home from work about a month ago, what was it that precipitated you leaving?
The house was full of smoke, and my newborn baby was in the house along with the 4-year-old.
What kind of smoke?
Pot smoke.
Really?
Your Honor, that's not true.
I'll get to you in a second. What did you say to her?
Well, we got into an argument, and she decided she was going to leave with the kids, and I wasn't having that. So I had called the cops to arrest her because she had previous warrants for assault and driving on a suspended license because I didn't want her to take the kids out of my house.
Okay. And that was successful. So they came and they arrested her.
Yep.
And you took the children. Where did you take the children?
To my sister's house.
Under what circumstances does Ms. Blair get the children back?
She put a restraining order out saying, using false allegations, saying I assaulted her. Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the allegations.
Saying I've hit her several times and verbally assaulted.
All right, so she filed this petition asking for a protective order for herself and for the children.
Correct.
And she wants temporary custody of the minor child, and that is Jada. That's your daughter.
Yep.
The other one she doesn't need custody of because she already has custody of that child. And when the police came to your house, what happened?
They gave me the papers and they said that I had to release the baby.
And did you?
Yes, with no problems.
And that was when, sir?
I don't know.
February 23rd, Your Honor.
Okay, and in the petition you asked him to stay away from you. Is that right? So how could you ask him for rent?
The claim has been dismissed since March 11th.
Just a second. So you dismissed the claim on March 11th?
Yes. When I
indicating that you were in fear for your life and safety and in fear for your children, you needed a protective order. And I'm asking you, between February 23rd and March 11th, what happened to alleviate your fear?
I was hoping to reconcile everything. I wanted to get back together. I was hoping maybe we could go to family counseling.
You mean after you said all of these horrible things about him? He
Your
hit
Honor,
you,
he said
kicked you.
so many...
I'm speaking. He kicked you, he beat you, he hit you in front of your brother, he hit you in front of your sister, and abused you, both verbally and physically. Then you wanted to reconcile with him.
We have 2 children, Your Honor.
So the answer is, nothing happened between February 23rd and March 11th when you dropped the case. All of a sudden, you
I had
felt
spoken
safe.
with his lawyer. His lawyer was trying to get us into family counseling. We were hoping to make things work for the sake of the children.
It didn't work.
I know.
And now you're living in the apartment? I suggest you stay there. He's not paying for it.
I can't
afford him. Then move. He's not coming back to a situation where, on your whim, you can go and get a protective order put out against him, citing egregious acts of assault where you are in fear for your life, and then miraculously, in a relatively short period of time, without any intervention, that fear is gone. So he would be an idiot to live with you, knowing that you know how to do this. I think he would be an idiot to come back home because you resorted to this in order to get the children back.
Your Honor, he filed false charges with Child Family Services, saying that I was an unfit parent, I can't take care of my children. They came into my house and they found nothing at all to say that I was an unfit parent.
Well, one thing that they should do is they should do a hair follicle test to see if you use drugs.
He has used drugs also. He is addicted to coke.
So is what you're telling me is it's okay for you to use marijuana?
Your Honor, I have not
because,
smoked
listen to me, you said it, he uses drugs too, is what you said.
No,
so is what you're telling me is it's okay for you to use drugs because the father uses drugs also? Is that what you're telling me? All I said was...
Since my child has been, since I've been pregnant, a long time ago. We've been in a relationship for 2 years. My daughter, it only takes 9 months to conceive a child. He was using
No, it
things
doesn't
against
take
me
9
from-
months, it takes 9 seconds. Miss Blair, you have no case. You currently seeking custody of this child? When is your next court date?
Supposedly April 4th.
You suggest to the court that both of you submit to hair follicle tests because you now have this on tape where she says that you are addicted to cocaine, and you say merely a month ago she was using marijuana to the extent that the fumes were all over your house.
Your Honor, that was his nephew.
Just a second. So that if, in fact, she had used marijuana, it stays in the hair.
I know.
And there's a buildup. But I'm going to tell you something, people in glass houses.
No. I have nothing to worry about.
Very good. Miss Blair, your case is dismissed. That's all.
Of Avila versus Johnston. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Avila, this is your former boyfriend, and according to you, you made a loan to him in an amount in excess of $5,000 to pay for an attorney because he was involved in a divorce and a custody dispute with his, I assume, now former wife?
Not quite.
Not quite. So you're still involved in this custody and legal dispute?
Yeah. She was difficult then and still is.
I don't know who's difficult and who's not. When were you married?
August 96.
And you have children?
1.
How old?
8.
When did you leave your wife, or when did she leave you?
I moved away and we separated in 2003.
Did you meet Miss Avila before or after you left home?
Well after.
According to your complaint, the money that you loaned to him was in February of 2004. Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
Which was when?
I took out a personal loan in my name May 6, 2004.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
I gave Jake a cashier's check, which I have here, and a copy of the personal loan I took out to get the funds to loan to Jake.
Okay. Tell me about the discussion that you had prior to your executing this personal loan with regard to what the money was needed for and whether or not you would, in fact, take out a loan and lend him the money.
Jake's ex-wife had filed for divorce in February, so he had 90 days to respond to that, and he was running out of time. He had no other resources of money available.
Was he working?
No, Your Honor, he was not. He quit his job in March.
Why?
Didn't like the job.
Well, if you quit the job in March of 2004, how were you paying child support?
Well, I had unemployment coming in.
How much was your child
and
support?
And at that point,
order?
I wasn't paying child support any longer. I'd paid. I was told to stop paying by my attorney because I'd been paying to the tune of $4,700 a month for all bills for everything ever since we had separated. I paid for everything, Your Honor.
What did your wife do for a living?
She works at a counseling center at a university.
And what kind of work were you doing?
Factory rep.
What does that mean, a factory rep?
Worked for a major manufacturer selling their products.
When did you go back to work?
October 10th is when was my hire date.
So you had no more money in May of 2004, and you needed money for divorce.
Correct.
So tell me about the discussion that you had with Miss Avila. Were you living together at the time?
We weren't living together. I always kept my own place. I stayed over at her place quite a bit, though.
Okay, so tell me about the discussion that you had with her.
We went through a lot.
I don't listen. You know, I got things to do. I'm not interested in your personal matters. I want to know what you said to her and what she said to you about the money.
Okay. I had done a lot for her, and she felt that she wanted to repay me back with the gift.
Don't tell me what she felt. Listen to me. First, I want to know what you said to her. Something like, "Wah, I just got served with these divorce papers, and I have 90 days in which to respond to these divorce papers. I need a lawyer, and I have no money. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that had to happen before she had feelings that she wanted to help you. She had to know about the service of the papers and that you needed money for a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So let us start with there.
Okay.
Good.
She was witness to me getting the papers, and she knew I was trying to
Don't tell me what she knew. She was a witness to you being served.
Correct.
Where were you served?
At my place of employment.
You mean she was picking up for lunch? What was she doing there when she was a witness to you?
I brought the papers over to her house that evening.
Then she wasn't a witness to you being served. You see, you got to be very careful what you say to me. She was not a witness to you being served, sir. You brought the papers home that night, and then you whip them out of your pocket and you say, ta-da.
I got served today.
Ah, there you go. I got served today. And she said to you,
what are you going to do about it?
And you said to her,
I'm going to try and get the funds from a family member or possibly a loan.
What family member was going to loan you money?
My sister.
Did you ask your sister?
No.
Why not?
Hadn't got there yet.
Mm-hmm. And she said to you?
She asked what I had done, and I looked into getting my own loan. Unfortunately, my wife at the time had scrapped a lot of our credit in the meantime.
So you were prepared to take out your own loan because you knew you had to have a lawyer, right?
Yep.
But for the fact that your ex-wife, or your wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, who she didn't know at the time, right? You didn't know her at the time.
Not personally, no, Your Honor.
No. But for the fact that she had scrapped your credit, you would have been able to get a loan and thoroughly anticipating paying it back.
Sure.
Of course. You can take out a loan without paying it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the discussion where you said to her, well, if you take out a personal loan, because you knew she was taking out a personal loan, right? Just like you were going to take out. What are you looking at me like I'm talking a foreign language? I'm still talking English. I'm still talking English. You know, the concept isn't very hard. This is the same kind of personal loan that you were trying to take out, and you couldn't because of the lousy credit that your wife had inflicted upon you.
Almost. I was going to take a second against the house, pay off all of our debt so that neither my ex-wife or myself were in debt. And
well, she wasn't going to allow you to do that. Listen to me. She wasn't going to allow you to. I know I gave you a minute to think, but you're not an idiot. I don't think you're an idiot. So your ex-wife is not going to allow you to take out a second mortgage on the house in order to pay for a lawyer to fight her. That would be very dumb. And your soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't sound like she's dumb.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wanted my space. I didn't think she was the right one to introduce to my daughter.
And what'd you take her money for?
We had spent some time.
Why did you take her money?
And later today.
According to your answer, you said that when he said to you, you have to pay me for this job, you said to him,
I said, are you kidding? I've been supporting you for a year and a half.
Right
on! Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Junella Vila says ex-boyfriend Jacob Johnston owes for a loan to hire a lawyer. Jacob claims Junelle offered the money.
How many payments did you give her on this loan?
I don't remember making any payments to her.
How many payments did he make?
One, Your Honor.
When?
The first payment due July 5th, 2004. He paid me.
That sound familiar to you, sir?
I remember giving her $200 because she was tight. I didn't expect to be paying back anything at that point.
Well, when did you decide, Mr. Johnston, that you no longer wanted to be involved with Miss Avila?
After she became aggressive and upset.
Month and year?
June of 2004.
So within 4 weeks or so of getting this money, you took a hike?
I had taken a hike prior to that.
Tell me about that, sir.
We spent a lot of time up until the end together, up until the end of 2004.
Listen to me.
I had...
May of 2004, you took the check, paid for the lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what you're saying to me, sir. Be very, very careful, because you said to me that you were served with the papers May 6th. So you took the papers and you brought them home and showed them to her and said, gee, I got served. So at what point had you broken up prior to that?
Okay, so at the end of 04, December, I had stopped spending nearly as much time with her and told her that I needed more space, and I didn't
Well, what
think...
was June of 04 that you just told me about, sir?
03.
Shh.
Or
What
03,
was-
excuse me, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. We weren't spending
You're talking
nearly
about in
as much time.
December of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I wanted my space. I didn't think she was the right one to introduce to my daughter.
Then what'd you take her money for?
We had spent some time
Why did you take her money?
because I'd helped her out through a lot of difficult times, and she asked if she could give me the money because of all the help I had given her.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
See, I knew I was going to let you talk. Let's talk about character. You're not supposed to use people, Mr. Johnston.
It's never my intention to use her.
It was. When you put someone in debt in order to satisfy your need, when you have no legitimate intentions, because she had legitimate intentions, she still cared about you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I still cared about her, too.
That's not what you just told me. You said I needed listen to me, I needed my space. I didn't think she was the one to introduce to my daughter. All of those things, then you don't put her in debt. And once you're back to work, and if you did stop seeing her 4 weeks later, you say, Janelle, listen, at the time, I really needed the money. I thank you for taking out this personal loan. I don't want you to be behind the 8 ball. I'm going to pick up the payments because I had thoroughly intended to take out a loan myself to pay a lawyer. And since I couldn't get the credit, you were great to help me out. But I'm going to take over the payments. We're no longer together. We're not related to each other. I'm not going to see you anymore. I'm moving on with my life. I don't want you to feel as if you've been put upon. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's being a moral person. So I wouldn't allow you to represent toilet paper, sir. Because that's what I think of your moral character if you stuck her with this loan. Judge for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Perhaps he had no money to repay since he wasn't working. You know, can't get blood out of a turnip.
It comes back to some of those personal issues that I'd rather not bring up.
Ladies, if you see this man coming, hang on to your money and run the other way.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hanson versus Fagan, step forward, please.
Plaintiff Norman Hanson is suing his ex-girlfriend, hairstylist Lisa Fagan, for the cost to renovate her salon. Norman claims he did the work and was never paid.
Mr. Hanson, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time in her home, and it is your claim that while you were together, you did work for her in remodeling her salon. Is that a beauty salon?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was an agreement that she would pay you for that remodeling work. You finished the work. She didn't pay you.
True.
That's your claim. How old are you, Mr. Hanson?
I'm 58 years old.
And when did you move into Miss Fagan's home?
Probably about a year prior to...
What year did you move into her home?
2003, end of 2003.
How long had you known her before?
About 20 months.
And how long did you live with her?
Approximately a year, a little less, on and off.
What do you mean on and off?
Well, whenever she'd go out and meet somebody else, she'd give me the boot, and then he'd leave her, and she'd call me back. That's the
And
way
you
it
went?
Yes.
You weren't living with her. Where were you living?
I had my own home in Interlaken, about 40 minutes away from her home.
For most of the year, however, you lived with her.
It was more convenient to live with her so I can get the projects done that she wanted done than having to travel back and forth. And plus, I'm disabled, and I'm on a fixed income, and it's easier to move in and save money than go back and forth every day.
Now, what kind of projects were you doing for her?
Okay, I built a privacy fence around the property.
And when did you do that? How long had you been living there?
It started around, I guess, March or April when she got her income tax check. We went up and bought the material, and I started.
What kind of privacy fence was it? Wood?
Yes.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It was.
Did you have to pour cement?
In some areas, yes.
And how big a fence was this?
Maybe 400 feet, 500 feet.
And what was the next project you did with her?
Then I built a 12 by 24 patio off the back of her porch.
Out of what material?
2 by 6s, 2 by 4s, all treated.
Now, during that time, sir, because these projects kept you very busy, while you were living there with Miss Fagan, I assume it is correct that you were not paying any part of the mortgage, gas, electric, or utilities. Is that right?
Well, at first I was paying like $100 a month.
$100 a month?
One time, Your Honor, I got that.
Twice.
One time.
Twice. He says twice. Give him twice. He gave you $100 a month. That comes out to a little less than $25 a week. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So we know that that's not really supporting yourself.
No.
Now, what was your main job, Mr. Hansen?
In the salon?
No, your main job. How do you support yourself? You're 58 years old.
I'm on disability.
What's the nature of your disability?
I had a broken tailbone. That's the nature of my disability. I got a broken tailbone.
Well, what does the broken tailbone disable you from doing?
Almost everything up to about 3 years ago. And I...
Just a second. If you're building 500-foot fences...
Yes.
And putting in 20 by 30 patios...
Yes.
And single-handedly remodeling a salon... I want to know, are you disabled from building skyscrapers? Are you disabled from building bridges?
He's lying, Your Honor, to get money from the government. That's what he's doing.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out, Miss Fagan.
I don't believe
you get disability from whom, sir?
I get it from the government.
How much do you get?
I get $5.79 a month.
And when did you start to collect that?
94.
But now you're not disabled anymore.
I'm still disabled.
No, you're not disabled anymore. You just told me you weren't disabled. You just told me that you did construction work.
With exercise, I go through a lot of pain and suffering, but I'm able to walk. At times, I had to use a cane. I used to have to use crutches. I worked myself off of that.
Good. Well, that's good. That's wonderful.
Get a job.
How come you don't tell the government you don't need their charity anymore, sir?
It isn't charity.
Sure it is.
When the bad weather comes, I can hardly move around. It changes like the weather.
My goodness gracious me.
It might seem like right now, because it's nice and dry, everything's fine, but I still got pain. I still got to walk with it.
That's life, Mr. Hansen. As we get older, we get aches and pains. But if you can build a 500-foot fence and a 20 by 30 patio and remodel a salon, you should not be getting money from the government because you're disabled. Now, when you told her you wanted money for this salon, and you were living together at the time, sharing a bedroom, I assume, what did she say to you?
She come out and asked me in her house do I think I could do that concrete building, renovate it, and convert it into a salon. I said, sure I can.
Sure, as long as the weather's dry. Just wait,
okay.
Not when it's raining. Did you say to her, I'm sure I could do that, but I can't work when it's raining?
It's harder when it's raining.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. She asked me, how much do I want to do the job? I said, well, make me an offer I can't refuse. She said, $15 an hour. I said, okay, let's go with it. And that's what we did.
I'm listening.
Where do I begin? What would you like to know?
No, just say to me, when he said, why don't you, according to your answer, you said that when he said to you, you have to pay me for this job, you said to him...
I said, are you kidding? I've been supporting you for a year and a half.
Right on! No, you and the government had been supporting him. The only one who wasn't supporting him is Mr. Hansen. You're 58 years old. It's time you grew up, sir, and decide, I am a human being, I am a man, I have a responsibility to take care of myself. Not the government, not Miss Fagan, not anybody else. Get a job, call the government and tell them you no longer need their disability, because certainly we're going to send them a copy of this tape and let them know that you no longer need any disability,
Fine.
Mr. Hansen. And get a job and take care of yourself. It's time, sir. Otherwise, you'll never know what it's like to be independent, and then you're going to die. Do you understand? Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Baker versus Taggart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Baker, you and the defendants are neighbors,
Yes, we are.
and I assume that your backyards abut each other's,
Yes, they do.
and these are two private homes.
2 private homes, 2 separate communities within a master development.
According to your complaint, the Taggarts like fireworks, and they use them to celebrate a variety of events. And they have both damaged your property, according to your complaint, and in addition, according to you, have caused your wife a certain amount of trauma. I see your wife is not present.
Yes.
All right, so let's start with the first incident that you talk about, which took place in 1999.
Your Honor, may I provide you with a photo to follow the story?
Yes, that's always helpful. Go ahead, sir.
On January 23rd, which was a Saturday, late in the evening, I happened to be in one part of the home, and my wife was at the dinette area, when all of a sudden there were large or very loud explosions. She proceeded to go out to the patio where that pool rail is. When she reached the rail, this particular rocket came down through the screen and exploded within 2 to 3 feet from her where she was standing. She proceeded to protect her eyes.
You're talking about through one of these screens?
Through the ceiling above her.
The ceiling of over the pool?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have a picture of that. There's the picture of the hole, and here's the picture of the rocket in the pool that was taken the following morning.
So what did you do, sir?
Well, by the time I got to the door going out to the patio, needless to say, seeing her basically just covered with sparks, she panicked in sheer terror, proceeded to run out to the wall, and began to yell over the wall, probably screaming to the Taggarts, to please, you know, you're damaging my property and things of that nature. About that time, a barrage went off, additional rockets, and she hid or took shelter underneath that decorative tree. I proceeded to go out and shield her and bring her back into the house. We then called the sheriff's department.
What happened when the sheriff's department arrived?
The sheriff came out, observed the fireworks, the damage. He was able to observe the party taking place.
The party was still ongoing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He left my home. I had to escort him over to Mr. Taggart's home to show him where the party was taking place at.
Mr. Taggart, do you remember a police officer arriving in your home on the 23rd of January?
I wasn't present at that time. My wife was.
What kind of a party were you having?
It was my husband's 35th birthday party.
So where was he?
He had gone across the street to get some additional food and things for the party.
Okay, so he just wasn't there at that moment?
At that moment, yes, correct.
And you had a discussion with the sheriff?
Yes, I did.
And he told you that there had been a complaint?
Correct.
So what did you do?
Well, the sheriff had come to the door and said that the fireworks had been letting off sparks, and that the sparks had done some damage to the pool area and had frightened the wife, and asked us to stop the fireworks, at which we did at that time. He also asked us to contact Mr. Baker to make arrangements and to discuss the incident that had happened.
So did you do that?
When my husband returned, I told him the time I was tending to the party, so I was not back where the fireworks.
So did you do that, Mr. Taggart? Did you
Yes,
call the
I
Bakers?
did. I called Mr. Baker and discussed it with him, and at that time he had told me that his wife was cowered on the ground getting showered with sparks. I felt that that was heavily exaggerated. The fireworks that I have, Your Honor, they're not bottle rockets. They're big. It's hard to explain. I wish I'd have brought one, but they shoot 200 to 300 feet up in the air. They're cakes, is what they're called, 25 shot. And the
Did he tell you that damage had been caused as a result of one of these things?
He said that there was damage to his screen. He didn't.
Did you make arrangements to go over and look at it?
Not at that time. After I spoke to him, he seemed to have been rallying his neighbors. He said his neighbors have some complaints as well, and their screens got damaged. And another time, he came to my house, another 4th of July. The only other time...
All right, let's go to the next instance, because we haven't gotten there yet. So the answer is there was never any payment made for the initial damage in 1999. Is that correct, Mr. Baker?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, let's move to the next instance.
In the following January, New Year's, 2000, there was a gala fireworks display. That evening, the winds were fairly calm, and whatever debris that was being shot off was going somewhere else within our community, or his community. There was no damage to my property as a result of his fireworks display.
But he did, in fact, have a fireworks display.
Absolutely.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On July 14th, I happened to be in my home, and again, Mr. Taggart is setting off fireworks. In this case, they were the rockets of this type, and they were going over my yard, and I personally, just from pure anger and frustration, drove over and confronted him at his front door with some of his friends from his party, asking him to please either shut it down or move his fireworks to the front of his property, shoot over his neighbors and not over my property. I turned around, and rather than having any more of a confrontation, I proceeded to leave, got back to my home. There was a series of other rockets go off shortly after. My wife says, obviously, he's not listening to you. And he did subsequently move the fireworks to the front of his home. The next incident, Your Honor.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
When he did come over to my house, he was upset. And he did threaten me to some extent that he was going to get me and I was going to pay for this in some manner. I respected his wishes, however, I did move the fireworks to the front. However, all the neighbors in my neighborhood, they don't have a problem. There's 8 feet between each house from my house to the neighbors on either side.
He has a problem.
I realize that. But I
He
feel
has a
that I was singled out in this instance because the fireworks that I have aren't bottle rockets and things of that nature. They're
Somebody was shooting those off from your yard, sir. Maybe some of you guessed because they know that you have fireworks and maybe they brought some of their own. That's a possibility, isn't it, Mr. Taggart?
I guess.
Yeah, you guess.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Donald Baker is accusing his neighbors, Mark and Deborah Taggart, of ignoring his request to stop their use of fireworks. Donald says the Taggarts have caused damage to his property and undue stress to his wife.
Go ahead. When was the next instance, sir?
New Year's this year. When I get up in the morning on Monday, I initiated a sheriff's report. I took photographs of the residue from his fireworks. And Your Honor, he mentions something other than bottle rockets. My understanding is in the industry they called mortars. They are very large balls filled with black powder that you need a tube or a cannon or a pipe to shoot them out of. And this is the debris that came off of my roof and also my patio.
Did you have a party New Year's Eve?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did have some fireworks?
Yes. Now, the fireworks, that debris is eventually going to come down. However, it's not lit when it comes down. I mean, these shoot 300 feet in the air. Well before they hit any houses or the ground, they're out.
Was that the last instance, Mr. Baker?
That is the last incident, and that is what drove me to take this to court. I have attempted, I've exhausted every means available to me to settle this in a neighborly fashion.
Okay. Mr. Taggart, every judge brings to the bench with them a certain amount of life experience. You and your wife look like nice people. I don't think that you're bad people. I think, however, that you are not a considerate neighbor. Even though your neighbors may not have a problem with your fireworks, clearly one of your neighbors does. I'll tell you that when I was pregnant with my first child, I was living in a row house development, and one of the neighbors on the 4th of July decided to have some fireworks. Excuse me. It was my second child because it was Adam, because he was born in August, and I was very pregnant. And fireworks went off and came sailing over into our little backyard. And I remember hitting the ground over a little stool that was there out of fear, because you have a certain amount of fear. If you're not in charge of those fireworks, Mr. Taggart, if you don't have control over them, there's a fear that you have. You hear something whizzing in the air. You hear something exploding. There is a certain amount of debris. You say it's not lit by the time it hits something, but when you see it coming down at you, you don't have a little voice inside saying to you, that's not going to be lit by the time it hits my hair. And I recall so vividly being concerned for the remainder of my pregnancy that I had caused some kind of damage to this baby when I hit the ground hard because of somebody else's idea of a good time. And I will tell you that my husband at that time, if he could have, if I would have let his collar go, would have gone over to that neighbor's house and ripped out his heart through his nostrils. And I would have been there cheering because this guy just did not care. He said, you know, nobody was hurt. I mean, the fact that she overreacted by hitting the ground, that's not my fault, which was basically his response. She overreacted, which is really what you're saying to me. So if she's cowering over in the corner and being frightened, that's not your fault. It's because there's something wrong with her. The debris would not have caused their house to go on fire because by the time it gets down, it's not lit anymore. You can celebrate the 4th of July without fireworks in your backyard. So if you have a neighbor that's had a problem, and if you've been advised 2 years ago that there was damage done to property and that he was in fear And he's not a nut. He's not a nut. He says, I want to be able to enjoy my 4th of July too. Maybe I want to go in the backyard and have a barbecue. I don't have to have my friends and relatives walking around with hats and umbrellas because you want to shoot off fireworks. He's not wrong. Do I look like I need help from you?
No, Your Honor.
So, if your neighbor has complained for 2 years that it's stressful to have you firing off this stuff, then you take your party elsewhere. Or you have your party without it. Now, can I see a bill, sir, for the damage to your property? You think there's anything wrong with Adam as a result of my falling to the ground?
Adam is okay.
Bird knows Adam from the time he was, what,
There's the
6 or
original
7.
bill.
He is okay.
He's perfect.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
He's a cute kid.
I was trying to help Adam out.
All right, the total damage from both incidents is $940. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
You're too old for fireworks anyway, Mr. Taggart. You understand? It's a kid thing to do. In the state where I live, they're illegal. You can't sell them, you can't buy them, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is fireworks are dangerous. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm entering a judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $940, and I strongly urge you, you're nice people, find another way to play. That's all.
Okay. Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'd like to think that I can look forward to a very peaceful New Year's and 4th of July hereafter.
Oh, yes, fireworks are going to be tuned down a bit.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Evans versus Esquin, step forward, please.
30-year-old Dion Evans is suing his ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old receptionist Elizabeth Esquin, for the value of a Chevy Beretta. Elizabeth says the car is in her name.
Mr. Evans, you and the defendant lived together for about 2 years, according to your complaint. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start living together?
In December of 1999.
According to your complaint, during the time that you lived together, you purchased 2 cars. You put both cars in the defendant's name.
Yes, ma'am.
When you broke up, you say she took one of the cars. She took the Beretta.
Right.
And you want that car back or the value of that car.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that her parents had given her a car, and her parents disapproved of you, so when she went to live with you, they took back the car. She had no means of transportation, and you provided the transportation. There was never any agreement to return this car. So, Mr. Evans, I have a couple of questions for you. Is it correct that when you met Miss Evans, she was driving a Nissan?
Yes.
And when you decided to live together, Mr. Evans, did the defendant tell you that her parents were going to take back the car?
No.
Did she ever tell you that her parents were taking back the car?
No.
What did you say to her with regard to having a car for transportation?
Well, being that I felt responsible, you know what I'm saying? That the
Felt
car,
responsible for what?
for the car getting taken because her parents didn't like me.
That's what I just said. You just said you didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
You got my drift.
Right.
Being that you felt responsible because her parents took back the car, what did you say to her?
I told her that one day I would help her get a car.
Good. And she said, okay.
Right.
And what car did you help get her first time?
I haven't helped her purchase a car yet. The cars I purchased it by myself. She has never been with me when I purchased any of my cars.
She doesn't have to be with you. When did you buy the Beretta?
On June the 21st of 2000.
So about 5 or 6 months after she moved in. Is that right?
Right.
And when you bought the Beretta, sir, who drove the Beretta?
Majority of the time, she did.
And what car did you buy for yourself?
I bought a Chevy Cavalier and a Chevy Beretta.
Now the Beretta, you say she wasn't with you when you purchased it.
No.
You have a purchasing agreement?
When I purchased the car, I paid cash. All he did was give me a receipt.
Can I see that, please?
She kept the receipt because it was inside her car.
Oh, good. Do you have the receipt?
No, I don't.
Do you have the title?
Yes, I have the title.
Let me see the title.
The title and the registration.
Now, Mr. Evans, you want to tell me why you titled these cars in her name? Both of them. Not just one, but both of them.
Well, all 3 of them are in her name.
Tell me why you put all 3 of them in her name.
Because she had, like, good credit, and my credit was, like...
What do you need credit for if you're paying in cash?
Well, for the first car, we financed it.
I'm not talking about the first car. I'm talking about the Beretta. You said you paid for the Beretta in cash.
Right.
So if you paid for the Beretta in cash, why didn't you title it in your name?
Well, all my cars are titled in other people's name because my insurance is a non-owner insurance policy, so it allows me to drive other cars.
Well, who has insurance on this Beretta?
Well, I have insurance on all the cars.
Mr. Evans, this all sounds like a little bit of a hustle to me, sir. So, Mr. Evans, you say you put the car in her name first because she had better credit than you did. But 2 seconds before, you told me you paid cash for the car, so that has absolutely nothing to do with credit. So there was absolutely no reason to put the cars in her name,
No,
unless you were trying to avoid something.
Well, avoiding paying higher insurance, if anything.
So you were really fooling the insurance company.
I wouldn't say fooling the insurance company.
Well, you see, you got fooled yourself because she's got the Beretta. She could have the Cavalier, too.
Pretty much so, yes.
Darn right. She could go and pick up the Cavalier right out of your driveway. And you could be stomping around and saying to the police, I want my car back, and they could say, not your car.
Right,
It's your car.
I already did that.
Who already did that?
I did. I called the police and tried to make a report on the vehicles because, like I said, I purchased them. They told me I couldn't because they was registered in her name.
No, I said to you, she could call the police and say, he's got my car, the Cavalier, I want it back. The police would go, pick up the Cavalier, and bring it to her house. And then she would have the Cavalier, and you could stomp around all you like, but they're her cars. You got it?
Right.
So sometimes when you try to pull one scam, it ends up coming back and biting you in the behind. You understand?
Yes.
Do you enjoy the Beretta?
Yes.
Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out. 2:12 on the calendar in the matter of Kavanaugh versus Klein.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Kavanaugh, the defendant and your son were in a long-term relationship, although I don't see here that they were ever married. Is that
No.
true? Not married?
No, we weren't.
But you have 3 children together?
Yes, we do.
So how long did this relationship last?
Lasted 16 years.
Just for my own curiosity, is there any reason why you chose not to marry?
I don't really believe in marriage. I'm too afraid to get married. Divorce is too expensive.
Your claim is that Miss Klein has some property that belongs to you.
Yes, she does.
In her home.
Yes.
After, of course, your son left. You want it back. And you also claim that Miss Klein made false charges to the Child Protective Services Agency about you, causing you severe stress. Miss Klein says she did not make those calls to Child Protective Services. She knows who did.
Yeah.
She says her girls did.
My girls did, and also Cassie and Christy, who are her witnesses.
And
they did it at their house.
And she said they found things that were troublesome to them. As far as the property is concerned, she says the property is hers. The property we're talking about is a pool table, is that right?
No, it's a poker
table.
card table or coffee table.
Okay. According to what you said, Ms. Kavanaugh, in your complaint, you gave this poker table, this table, to your son as a gift.
I lent it to him.
No, that's not what you said. You said you gave it to your son as a gift. You want me to read you what you wrote?
No, that's fine.
Just to say, I know that you dispute that. I had given my son a custom-built poker table for his birthday.
Correct.
So let's deal with the poker table because that makes my life very easy. You have no interest whatsoever in the poker table.
Okay.
Got it? Once
Yes.
you give a gift, the gift is gone. And I don't see your son here. If he wants the poker table back, and if it's his, it's certainly not marital property because these people weren't married. So if he wants the poker table back, he can have it. But you can't because it doesn't belong to you. It would be like birds suing for the poker table. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to the allegations of abuse and or neglect that were made to Child Protective Services. When did your son and the defendant separate?
February, she threw him out.
Were you working during the 16 years you lived together?
Yes, I was. I was basically the only one working in the relationship.
What were you doing?
I managed 2 bowling centers.
And who took care of the children?
Anthony usually did, and Dorothy.
What kind of work does Anthony do?
He worked on cars on the side.
No steady job?
No.
Why doesn't your son have a steady job?
He did have a steady job. He worked at the garage. It was in his name. He did have a steady job. He had his own garage at 25.
You mean for the 16 years that they lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he file tax returns on that?
No, he did not.
Well, if he had his own business and if he was making money, then that's a very serious crime that he committed by not filing tax returns for 16 years. Here he's got his mother swearing under oath that he had his own business.
He did on the side.
Kavanaugh.
He did on the side, yes.
What do you mean on the side? On the side is something that you do when you have a full-time job elsewhere,
True.
Ms. Kavanaugh.
True.
On the side is not what you do when you have 3 children.
That's true. I agree with that.
Where is he?
He's working right now.
Doing what?
He works for Twin City Transmission.
What happened to his garage?
It was closed down after Stephanie and him got into trouble and separated.
Due to his alcohol and drug problem, he's on probation right now, and that's why he had to leave the home, because I did not want that around my kids. It took me a long time, but I was a victim of domestic violence until I got strong enough to do it on my own.
Fine. Well, he's certainly not here supporting his mother.
Or his children.
What makes you think that the defendant called Child Protective Services?
Because of the paperwork that I have and the statements that they made.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, okay.
No, don't give me all this paperwork, Ms. Kavanaugh. I want you to show me where in this paperwork it says that a call was made to this Child Protective Services by Miss Klein.
Oh, they don't do that.
Well, so what I want you to tell me is you direct my attention to somewhere in this stack of papers to evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services.
Then it would have to come from my witness who told me that.
Fine. Who's the witness? That would be you. Stand up. Who are you?
Christy.
How are you related to these people?
That's my grandma.
But that's not your mother, so you have different parents?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you live, Christy?
Down the street from her. And
down the street from your grandmother. Who do you live with?
My mom.
Now tell me what you know about Miss Klein calling Child Protective Services.
Her oldest daughter did.
Well, her oldest daughter is not her. Christy, listen to me very carefully. Do you know anything about Miss Klein calling Child Protective Services?
No.
Sit down. Do you have any other witnesses, Miss Kavanaugh?
I have Cassandra.
Be very careful if you're going to stand up here. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Stand up. Do you have any evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services?
No, ma'am.
That was being good and careful. Yes, Miss Kavanaugh.
Okay, there's also a countersuit from Stephanie that I called.
I haven't gotten to the countersuit yet.
Okay. Well,
do you have any other evidence that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services about your care of your children or grandchildren?
Other than the piece of paper here that states that they investigated both her and I, which is
that's why I called them myself.
My name, Stephanie, and all 3 children. It
so the
states
answer
that it was
is you have
unfounded.
no. Listen to me. So the answer is you have no evidence that it was Miss Klein who called Child Protective Services.
No, I cannot prove it was
So
her.
your case
No.
is dismissed in its entirety. The poker table doesn't belong to you, and you have no proof whatsoever that Miss Klein called Child Protective Services. So I don't even have to get into the fact that if she called them, whether what she said was true. Now I'll get to the counterclaim.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And when people use that child protective hotline for other reasons, it infuriates me. And if it was my world, they'd be in jail.
And later today,
If you happen to be built like you are, you have to use your strength and your girth wisely, sir. Yes, ma'am. Not like an idiot.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Kavanaugh says her son's ex-girlfriend, Stephanie Klein, made false charges to Child Protective Services. Stephanie is countersuing, claiming Dorothy's actions caused her to be fired.
Your counterclaim is that Ms. Kavanaugh called Child Protective Services with regard to you, your care of the children, and because of her harassment, you lost your job. I'd like to hear it.
I can't prove that she called, but...
Then if you can't prove that she called, then you have no case.
I'm not positive that she called. Kids were visited because of it, in which they stated that Dorothy...
You can't tell me what they stated? Not necessary. I don't have to reach that threshold question because neither of you has any proof that the other was responsible for calling Child Protective Services.
That's part of
Let
my
me
case.
deal with Child Protective Services, these calls back and forth, whomever they came from. Calling Child Protective Services is like calling 911. You call 911 when there is some emergency, when you feel as if somebody is being threatened, when you feel as if somebody is being placed at risk. And I'm not saying that those things weren't the case with these allegations that were made by whomever they were made. But it should be a felony in every jurisdiction, a very serious crime, for people to use calls to Child Protective Services in order to either incite or resolve or for retaliation or for retribution about some other issue because they have limited enough resources at Child Protective Services to investigate real allegations of neglect and abuse. And when people use that Child Protective hotline for other reasons, it infuriates me. And if it was my world, they'd be in jail if that's what they're using the hotline for. Having said that, we will move on to the next cause of action in your counterclaim, which is that Ms. Kavanaugh caused you to lose your job.
Yes, I had her as a sitter, also her son, who would drop the kids off to her even after I asked not to. She would get upset with them, drop them off at my work several times. She would drop them off at home unsupervised. She'd have them sitting on the porch in the middle of winter. She once set Jordan on the porch in the middle of winter with just a towel on because she didn't want to shower with her 10-year-old grandson, and she was 11 going through puberty at the time, which is disgusting.
Ms. Klein, listen to me. If what you're telling me is that because she wasn't a good babysitter, that caused you lots of stress,
yes.
Put your hand down. And you ultimately didn't show up for work, and it caused you to lose your job, you have options. Your option is get rid of her as a babysitter.
Then did, and
then you can't sue her.
And
I mean, that's your option.
Well, she called my work, harassing my boss, calling the cops on him. I got the letter
just
for that.
one second. Is your boss here?
No, but I have a letter stated to me why I was fired and a
I'd like to see the
complaint from the Tonawanda Police Department.
I'd just like to see the letter first. Okay. Can I see the report to the police department? Did you at any time have her son arrested for anything? She says yes.
He used to
for what?
Harassment.
Well, he probably was harassing her because he's a drug addict. That's what she says. Is that true? Put your hand down. Is that true?
Not anymore.
I don't care if it's not anymore. You mean not today?
Not today, but she also is.
Listen, who's taking care of the 3 children? Who's taking care of the 3 children?
At the moment,
yes.
A girl who had their children taken away from them, so I heard.
Who do the 3 children live with? I'm not talking about at this moment.
They live with the mother.
They live with the mother, not with your son.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. So, when did you have him arrested?
Actually, I had him arrested once, a couple times. I had to have him removed from the house because he would come in when we were sleeping. He broke in when we weren't home. Slept in my bed when I went away.
These sources are 2006. Anything happened in 2007 that's been harassment?
No.
Okay.
There was. I was afraid to do it. She's evil and very vindictive.
What do you want?
We both filed harassment against each other.
Well, I don't know why you should have anything to do with her except positive things with regard to your grandchildren, Miss Kavanaugh. You have a son that's problematic.
I took her to court.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Carefully.
Yes.
You have a son who's a problem.
Yes.
You have the mother of your grandchildren who has been supporting the family for 16 years because your son is a bum. There's no question that he's a bum because there's no question that they had to file tax returns because she worked for a company that wouldn't have paid her under the table. That your son, if he was working at all, which I somehow doubt, certainly has not filed tax returns and has not paid his fair share of our expenses as a community.
He was paying child support.
Well, what do you want me to do? Give him a gold medal for that? He made children. That's what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
Put your hand down. He's supposed to pay child support. Yes. A lot, not a little.
Right.
So if I wanted to be supportive, I would be as supportive as possible if you were a reasonable grandparent of my 3 grandchildren and said to my son, listen, I tried my best with you. Maybe my best wasn't good enough, but I'm certainly not going to annoy the mother of my grandchildren who's trying to keep it together. Do you get my drift?
She wasn't trying to keep it together.
Do you get my drift?
I understand you, yes.
Perfect. And I wouldn't sue her for a stupid card table because that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Goodbye. The case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim.
Parties are excused. You may step out, ma'am.
Because she's a wacko.
Just to hurt me even worse.
Drinking and drugs.
I wouldn't be able to afford my mortgage or my house.
Both her and my son were the same.
If I was doing drugs, nor will I be able to care for 3 children.
That the mother gets treatment for her drinking.
She does that with any one of her kids that separate from their girlfriends.
Well, I would imagine eventually somebody will catch up with her and take those children away from her.
That's what she does. She has nothing better to do than sit on her butt, smoke cigarettes, and make everyone's life a living.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bolin versus Juarez, step forward.
26-year-old Christopher Bolin is suing fellow partygoer, 18-year-old Michael Juarez, for denting his car during a fight. Michael claims the damage is not his fault.
Mr. Bolin, it is your claim that Mr. Juarez, during an argument at a party, threw someone into your car and damaged it. And Mr. Juarez says he didn't do that.
Yes.
When was the party?
May 29th.
Questions are going to get harder, Mr. Bolin.
No, I'm sorry.
Who, what, when, where, and how? Those are the questions you should always come prepared to answer.
All right.
All right? Yeah. What date was the party?
May 29th of 07.
Who was there?
There was a lot of people there.
In whose house was the party being held?
It was at a friend's house down the way from my house. I don't even know the person, actually.
Who knows the person?
I know his name is Ryan.
Who did you have a fight with?
I had a fight with him right there. I don't know his name.
With you? With Richard?
Yes. Yeah.
What'd you have a fight with Richard about?
It was because at the end of the party, my phone was missing, and I was trying to look for it, and I went around asking everybody, and when I went to go ask him, we had a confrontation, and then we started fighting. It was a quick, 2-minute fight, didn't last so long.
Why did you fight with him?
Because we started arguing, because I wanted to see if he had my phone, and we started arguing, and...
No, explain that to me. Mr. Juarez, your phone was missing. You asked to see his phone.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
He said no.
Yeah?
No, that's not right.
Shh, just a second.
He said no for a minute, and then he finally showed it, and it was dark. It looked like my phone. I wanted to see it. He wouldn't let me see it. And he said, and we started getting into it.
What do you mean you started to get into it? You started to get into it.
Yeah.
You accused him of stealing your phone.
Yeah, because I was missing my phone.
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
Did it turn out that he stole your phone?
No.
Where was your phone?
In the car.
So you made a mistake?
Yes, I did.
So you had this fight over something stupid where you made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And you started to act physical with somebody who says, don't accuse me of being a thief. Isn't that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me about throwing somebody into a car.
I pushed him.
And he fell into a car?
Yes.
So whose fault is that? Mine?
No.
Whose fault is it?
All right.
Whose fault is it?
I just pushed him. I didn't mean to him go in the car.
Is there something wrong with you? Who is this person here?
That's my mom and my aunt.
You don't want to embarrass yourself any further in front of your mother.
No.
Whose fault is it if you pushed him and he fell into his car?
I pushed him. I didn't mean for him to fall in the car. Your Honor, he didn't actually...
Jump! Do I look as if I need any of your help?
No, I'm sorry.
You want to have a talk with him. Is your last name Juarez?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds or less to talk to your son. Right up there.
It's your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now your mother's going to sit down.
Yes.
Whose fault is it, do you think, that his car got damaged?
I pushed the man, but I don't think it's my fault because how big I am and how big he is, it'll take a lot of force for him to make a dent in the car. And if it made a dent, it would have gave injury to the man. And I'll be right here getting sued by him. That's why I feel it's not
Whatever
my
it was,
fault.
it didn't work, Mrs. Juarez. Could I please see the pictures of your car?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
18.
What do you do?
I'm a student, AVC.
Stay there. Perhaps forever. Go for continuing education. You have an estimate?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the estimate?
From Squirty's Auto Collision.
What is the
Oh,
estimate?
for
Not from
$995.
whom? Who, what, when?
Sorry,
when?
$995.
Mr. Juarez, you did the wrong thing. You made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You accused somebody of being a thief.
Mm-hmm.
When they chose not to play along with you, you started an argument. Your argument resulted in this young man's car being damaged by you, because when you pushed him, the natural consequence of your pushing him was him falling into the car. Now, you didn't intend to damage the car. You intended to damage him. Unfortunately, the car got damaged. You're just lucky he didn't get damaged as well, because then I would have wiped up the floor with you. And so would the police department. If you happen to be built like you are, you have to use your strength and your girth wisely, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Not like an idiot.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $995. That's all.
Parties are excused. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Hurst, according to what I've read in your complaint, you and the defendant met a little over a year ago through a dating service.
Yes.
And you started to date, and then the relationship cooled off a bit. Recently, during this past summer, you decided to rejuvenate the relationship, and you contacted the defendant and began a series of telephone communications that ultimately led to some casual dating.
Yes.
So far, is that correct?
That's correct.
And then there was an evening in July, September? When was it?
September 13th.
that something happened that you're going to tell me about, because it is your claim that he assaulted you and broke a piece of your property at an evening that was supposed to be a pleasant evening at his home. Mr. Burton said he did no such thing. So why don't you tell me how the evening started?
September 13th, he was calling me. He was telling me, he called out throughout the day, saying, why don't you come on over, and I was hesitant. I said, okay. I waited later in the day, and then I told him, I said, you know what, okay, I'll come.
How many times had you called her that day, sir?
Your Honor, I only called her like one time, and she called me. I didn't call her.
Okay, so you called him back and said what?
About the 4th or 5th time he called, I finally said, okay, I'm going to go get some movies. I'm going to go get some, house wine. And then we had a nice dinner that day.
What time did you get there?
I would say about 5:30.
And you drank wine?
We both drank some wine, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And then just out of nowhere, at the end of the dinner, he came out with some kind of game playing, saying, well, I did this and I did this through the relationship.
I did this. What did he say?
He put up all the financial, as far as dating, when a man is going to go ahead and take you out to eat and stuff, they go ahead and, they pay for the eating and all. So he was bringing all that up. And then when I started getting ready to say, well, I did this and I did that, he started covering my mouth, but in a joking manner, playing manner. And then it turned out to where he wanted to get some wine. Well, he didn't have any money, so he was gathering some receipts and the purchase that he had purchased a while back, whatever it was. And then he was asking for my bus pass. So then at that time, I told him no. I said, I don't want to, I'm not, you don't trust me. You don't trust me. That's what he's coming out saying. And I'm like, okay. I'm hoping that the conversation will end. Just out of nowhere, he comes out and he says, you got to go.
Okay, so what happened?
I left. I tried to pack up everything. He got mad when I was trying to get everything gathered up. I wasn't saying anything to him. I did say, do you have the rest of the money that you owe me so I can take the cab home? And then sure enough, he got madder and started pushing me, shoving me with his chest at me. And then as I was gathering everything, that's when he pushed me against the wall, and the wall cracked behind me in the dining room, yes. And then I stepped back after I got pushed, and I waited for him. He just kept calling B word to me with a disgusting look, scary look, I might add, and just kept saying it. Yes, I was really frightened, and I just stepped out, and I'm against the wall, and that's when he pushed me again, trying to take my cell phone. The second time, he got it, and then he threw it as I was trying to call the police.
What'd you call the police for?
Because of the abuse that he was doing. He was pushing me and hurting me. He didn't have no right to put his hands on me at all.
Okay, and I'm waiting for you. Let's hear.
First of all, Your Honor, everything she just said, she's lying.
Just tell me your version of the events, Mr. Burton.
Your Honor, she called me on a Saturday. She said she was preparing a roast and a dinner. And I said, won't you bring everything over to my house, and then I'll finish preparing it, and then, we can have dinner over my house. So she came over my house, and I finished preparing the meal, and then she asked me to pour her a glass of wine. I poured her a glass of wine. Then all of a sudden, she started acting funny because I think she takes sight meds or something, because you can't drink on sight meds. But anyway, Your Honor, she just started talking, ramming on the top of her head, just started acting crazy.
Like what?
I mean, started talking. She didn't make no sense whatsoever. Like, you a punk, you this, you ain't a man, you this and you that. And she kept talking loud. It was 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I told her, stop talking loud in my house because you disturbing my neighbors. And she kept talking loud, and then I walked over to her and put my hand over her mouth. This is the physical abuse she was saying. So I said, maybe if I just walk away from her, maybe she'll stop. And so I went into the restroom, Your Honor, and I went in the restroom and used the restroom and washed my hand. I heard a scream. And so I came back out, and Your Honor, she told me, I said, what are you screaming for? She told me she had saw a leprechaun run through the living room. I went over there, I said, you got to go. So she went over there and got her stuff, and she kept saying, hit me, hit me. She was doing that, hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me, hit me, hit me. I didn't know what was going on, Your Honor. I thought she was finna turn into a chicken or something. Then she started yelling rape. And I ran to my bedroom and got my shoes. I said, you got to go. You got to get out of my house. And she started yelling rape outside, so I grabbed the cell phone and I threw it in the bushes. Because, I'm not finna get set up for something I didn't do.
And you say in your answer, sir, that you called her on the cell phone the next day.
Okay. After I had got her out of my house, she called me about 5 minutes later from a payphone. She said, Clint, she said, I can't find my cell phone. I need a way home. Could you please help me get a way home and help me find my cell phone? Your Honor, I watch cops. You know, I know there's no way that she was going to get me outside. I know the cops was already outside. So what I did, I cut off all my lights and everything and went to bed. When I went to bed, next thing you know, the cops was outside my window, bright light, banging on the door. The next day,
So you didn't answer the door?
Huh? No, I never answered the door because she wasn't finna set me up for somebody to do. So, Your Honor, the next day I put star 67. That's blocking the number out, and called her cell phone, and she answered the cell phone. So that let me know that she found the cell phone. Not only this, Your Honor, this young lady is on at least three or four chat lines and the internet. This lady is looking for victims on the chat lines and the internet to sue.
Gosh.
She done told me about at least 3 lawsuits she done had.
Okay. Now, Ms. Hurst, you called the police?
I did call the police after
Did you
trying.
file a report?
Yes, I did.
Can I see a copy of the report?
It's all the lies she done told.
Did I let you speak? Was I polite to you?
Yes, you were.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't understand. How can I make a call her on that cell phone if it's in pieces like that?
Do I look like a telephone technician to you?
And later today,
I guarantee you that when you're working from 10 to 6, he's fooling around. Guaranteed! And just like he made a fool out of her, he's gonna make a fool out of you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christine Hurst says ex-boyfriend Clinton Burton Jr. assaulted her and destroyed her cell phone. Clinton says Christine is a con artist.
Miss Hurst, police note the presence of alcohol when they saw you.
I let him know that we were drinking 2 to 3 glasses of house wine that I had brought over to his house.
It was about 10 glasses.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. How many bottles of wine did she bring over?
She brought a big jug of... She bought a big jug of St. Carlos wine, and the whole jug was finished.
Okay. You drank a lot that evening.
No, we didn't. We drank 2 or 3, and as the police report says, I was very calm.
You got to be calm and lie.
No, you're doing a lot of lying.
What kind of work do you do, Ms. Hurst?
I don't... Customer service, cashiering.
She worked for the devil.
Mr. Burton, you don't want to lose this case. So far, you're not losing. You want to lose?
No, ma'am.
Then you have to not speak to her again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you get any sort of Social Security?
I don't get any of that, no.
Are you currently under the care of a psychiatrist?
No.
Do you currently take any medication?
No.
Okay. Mr. Burton, the police indicated that they found the cell phone that you had thrown out of your house.
Yes.
And they found it, and it was, in fact, broken. Is that the cell phone?
Yes, it is.
Can I see it, please?
Sure. And here's the receipt that I just purchased with it, too.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if that cell phone in pieces like that, how did I star 67 her number and made a phone call and she picked it up?
Mr. Burton,
if it's that broken?
Mr. Burton, listen to me, sir. Clearly, I mean, if I were to recap this evening, you both were probably feeling pretty fine because you'd both had a little bit to drink. She may have had a worse reaction to the alcohol than you. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't think that you injured her because she refused any medical treatment, and the police really don't indicate that there were any injuries other than a little scratch under her nose that I don't know how she got because, according to her, you just pushed her. But you do acknowledge, Mr. Burton, that you took her cell phone
and threw it.
And the police, in their report, indicate that they found the cell phone in pieces. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you have to pay for the cell phone. The cell phone was $180.
But what I'm saying, I don't understand. How can I make a call her on that cell phone if it's in pieces like that? She done broke it the rest of the way.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Burton?
Yes, ask me a question.
Do I look like a telephone technician to you? How do I
I don't know.
How the heck do I know how you made a phone call to her? The police said the cell phone was broken. You have to pay for the new cell phone. You don't have to pay $5,000, which is what she's looking for. But $180 is what she paid for the phone. $180 is what you're going to pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff, $180. Don't drink if you can't hold your liquor, Miss Hurst.
No,
that's all.
I wasn't drunk.
That's it.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
Ever drink. Crazy lady.
He's the one on Prozac. He's the one he's the only one who has disability. I don't.
She's a total liar. She's on psych meds, and she knows she is. She get SSI, and she's crazy.
Maybe the Prozac turned him that way. I don't know.
Every time she drinks, she have obnoxious lies and steals out of my house.
All he did in the long run is just take advantage and made a spectacle out of himself, really, not for me.
If any mental hospital know this young lady, please come and get her, because she's on the loose.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Eberhardt. Step forward, please.
23-year-old factory worker Antoinette Jones is suing her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend, homemaker LaTwana Eberhardt, for torching her car. LaTwana says it wasn't her.
This is the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Your current boyfriend? How many children do you have with him?
2.
How old are they?
5 and 1.
And how many years were you together?
Since I was in the 11th grade, that was 97.
And you had 1 child with him?
Yes.
And then he was such a good father, you went and had another one with him.
I guess so, yes.
Do you? Nah. Even you had a laugh when I said that, right?
Yes.
Does he have a job?
Not at this, well, at this moment, yes, he should have one.
What is his regular occupation?
Construction.
So he works on and off?
Yes.
And how much does he give you every week for the support of your 2 children?
Nothing.
A big, fat...
0.
Miss Eberhardt.
Yes.
How long has Sir Lancelot been your boyfriend?
Well, it's be 2 years. We've been off and on since '96.
Off and on, so that you were off and on together. But didn't know about it, I assume.
That's correct.
Did you know he had 2 children when you were on and off with him?
I knew about 1.
I just wanted to get a little background because I read your case, and your case says that the defendant torched your car and destroyed it. She says she didn't do it. When was your car torched?
On May 18th.
And what makes you think that the defendant did it?
Because we had confrontation between each other the same night.
What kind of confrontation?
We went to a formal friend party. I don't understand why he invited both of us.
Why this other friend invited both of you?
Yeah.
What, because he's stupid?
So I didn't know she was coming. I guess she didn't know I was coming. Till I goes into the bathroom. She decides she gonna come too into the bathroom. So I told the friend, if she does come.
So you had a confrontation at this. So there's a little pushing and shoving, according to what I read.
No, we had no words. We just bumped shoulders.
Bump shoulders?
Right.
Fine. And that's what makes you think that she torched your car?
No, she had a little liquor, little friends, and a little courage.
Let me put it to you this way, Miss Jones. Do you have any proof that she torched your car?
Only Jason's mother notarized statement. That's all I do have.
I don't read statements.
I know, but she had to stay home. It has details telling that Tawana smelled like gasoline.
Smelling from gasoline is some evidence, but even smelling from gasoline doesn't prove that you torched your car.
I mean, we had confrontation before then. We face to face, almost fist fighting. So she didn't like me from the get-go. So it was an easy alibi for her to
You don't want me to start on you, do you? You don't want me to start on you, do you? You know how he cheated on her and he's got 2 children with her?
Yeah.
Do you work?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I work in dry cleaners.
You work 5 days a week?
Yes.
Why do you have to think about that? If I said to somebody, do you work 5 days a week, they wouldn't have to think about it. Do you work 5 days a week?
5 days a week.
Okay. You work 9 to 5?
10 to 6.
And you live with Sir Lancelot?
Yes.
Who is employed on and off in construction, is that right?
Yes.
I guarantee you that when you're working from 10 to 6, he's fooling around. Guaranteed. And just like he made a fool out of her, he's going to make a fool out of you. And in a year or 2 or 3, you're going to be standing in a similar situation that she's standing in now. I don't know whether you torched her car or not. She doesn't have any proof that you torched her car, but I'm telling this to the two of you. The only thing that makes you look more foolish than devoting the best years of your life to a loser who doesn't pay child support, who cheats on you, who doesn't work regularly, is to be angry at each other. What are you angry at each other for? It's stupid. It's stupid. He's the bad guy. You're just, both of you are just dumb. Hang around him. Don't you understand that a man who fathers 2 children who he doesn't support is a loser?
But he does
loser.
Support his children.
Loser. Really? How
Tell
much
her
did he
when the
send?
last time he seen his kids.
I don't care when he saw them.
Last time he took care of them.
When was the last time he sent them money?
He doesn't send them money, but he buys them things. He doesn't send money to her.
Just a second. Just a second. That's what he's supposed to do. Send money to the custodian of his children so that she can pay rent, food, insurance, medical care, shoes. Do you understand? That's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to buy Pampers and soy milk and say, I support my children. That's bull. Do you understand? Listen, Miss Jones, you don't have the case because you don't have any proof that you torched your car. So I have to dismiss your case. But forget about being mad at each other. That's the one.
I'm not mad at her.
Good. Perfect.
Mad at
Happy
him.
to hear.
Not mad at
Happy to
her.
hear that you're all happy with each other. Goodbye.
Parties under the matter of Whitinger versus Povis.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. So have a seat.
Miss Whitinger, this is your mother. And you were in an automobile accident when you were a child.
Yes.
There was a settlement of that claim. And when you turned 18, you expected to start to receive yearly or quarterly installments on that settlement. And it is your claim that your mother kept half of one of the checks.
Yes.
And you want that money back.
Right.
When was the accident, Miss Povis?
December 29th of 1989.
And you acknowledge that you kept half the check.
Yes.
How much was half the check?
$3,070.
And you say that you kept half of it because the check was written in both your names and you're entitled to half of it.
Yes.
Okay. Describe the accident to me that occurred in 1989.
I was not in the car. My roommate was driving the car, lost control of the car.
Your roommate?
Yes.
Male or female?
Female.
So you allowed your daughter, who was how old?
4.
To ride in the car with your roommate?
Yes.
Who lost control of the car, so the accident was your roommate's fault?
Correct.
Whose car was it?
It was her car.
And where was your daughter sitting in the car?
In the passenger seat.
In the front?
Yes.
Was she in a car seat?
No, she was not. She was actually reclined back in the car seat, but it had a seatbelt on. And then when the impact happened, she dove underneath the seatbelt.
And?
She knocked her 4 front teeth out that had been previously knocked out, so it was actually 4 fake teeth in the front that she knocked the bridge out. She had a concussion on her forehead, and she bit through her bottom of her chin and fractured her jaw.
So she was incapacitated for a while?
Yes, I don't remember how
And it was the roommate's fault?
Correct.
And what was the settlement that you agreed to?
In lieu of taking a $20,000 settlement at the time, I opted to set up a structured settlement because it would pay more money because I guess they invest it. So therefore, I set up payments for 4 years starting last year. So the first payment came last year for $61.40, and then another payment came this year, and then there's 2 more payments of that, and then the final payment of $10,000 in the year 2010.
So about $35,000.
Correct.
Good. Now, that's in addition to all of the expenses, to all the medical expenses that she had. Is that right? Those were paid?
She did not have medical insurance on her car insurance, so they only pay it with the final payment of the settlement.
So who paid the medical payments?
I paid them.
Let me see.
Here's some bills, and then...
Not the bills. I want to see the payments.
Oh.
I want to see the payments.
I don't have the payment receipts.
So then you didn't pay them?
I did pay them.
Show me. Show me a paid bill. Do you have the paid bills? Are any of those bills marked paid?
No.
Take them back. I'm not interested in them. So you don't have a paid bill for any of the bills from 1989, and you don't have any canceled checks. Is that right? So what you're telling me is in 2010, when your daughter gets your her final payment, you're going to pay the doctors from 1989. Is that what you're telling me?
No. I've already paid the doctors.
You've already paid the doctors, and you don't have one paid bill.
It was from back 1989.
You get a paid bill when you paid the doctor.
It was also a settlement for the time that I had taken off work to care
Just a second. Let's get to it, Miss Povis. First to the bills. I'm trying to see how you justify keeping half of this money. Not for the bills, because you didn't pay the bills. You stiffed the doctors. And the other thing that you say is you stayed home from work to take care of her?
Yes.
Who was the one who let her drive with the roommate without a car seat?
She wasn't required by law to have a car seat at that state.
Did you think it was wise for her to be in the front seat of a car? A 4-year-old? I mean, just because it's not the law, you're not responsible to do the right thing as her mother, to make sure she's sitting in the back seat in a car seat, well strapped in?
Yes.
Can I see a copy of the check, please?
Yes.
I want to see a copy of the settlement. This is a very poorly written settlement. It's surprising to me. But your name at that point was Shuck?
Correct.
And you signed as parent and natural guardian of Angela. You signed on her behalf.
Okay.
Is that right?
I signed the document, yes.
On her behalf. That's what it says. As parent and natural guardian of Angela, a minor.
Okay. I believe you. That's what they gave me to sign.
So you understood that you were signing on her behalf as her parent. Because she was a minor, she could not enter into an agreement. So now you can explain to me why you're entitled to any of this money.
Well, one, it was for reimbursement of my expenses, like I said.
You didn't pay any expenses.
I did pay expenses.
I don't believe you. I believe you stiffed the doctors.
I've never stiffed anyone in my entire life.
Show me. Show me one paid bill, I'll believe you. One paid bill.
I did not bring any of my canceled
receipts. Today is the day. Today's court.
Okay.
Angela Whitinger says her mother, Deborah Povis, stole her settlement check from an accident when she was 4 years old. Angela claims her mother is trying to cash in on her injuries.
So anybody can have bills. The paid bills show that you've paid the bills. Then I would consider them.
And the checks were to be made out to both of us to compensate for both of us according to that judgment up there. The checks are to be made out to Angela Whitinger and, at that time, Deborah
Yes, it says that they're going to be made out to both of you. So I want you to explain to me why you're entitled to any of this money. She was the one that was injured.
She was injured, yes. I also took time off work. I was off work, I know, for at least 2 weeks.
Show me that you took 2 weeks off from work.
This is in 1989, 90.
What were you doing in 1989?
I was a bill collector.
For whom?
Central Hardware.
Central Hardware where?
In Bridgeton, Missouri.
Is that where you still live?
I live in the same vicinity, yes.
Good. So why didn't you call them up and say, I need your payroll records so to show that I took 2 weeks off from work to take care of my daughter?
Exist.
What?
They no longer exist. Central Hardware is no longer in existence.
Let's say you were working for Central Hardware and making $200 a week in 1989, maybe. That's $400. That's not $3,000. You aren't making $1,500 a week, were you? No. And you think you're entitled to half of all of this money, right?
Correct.
You're not. You're not. You signed this stipulation of settlement on behalf of your daughter. That money belongs to her. Period. End of discussion.
Then why would my name be on the check?
Because that's the way this judge signed the order. It's muddled. But just because you bear the title of mother doesn't mean you're entitled to any money. That doesn't sound fair, does it? That doesn't sound reasonable to you, does it? Just because you are her mother doesn't mean that you're entitled to profit from her injury, especially when you are profiting from her injury. If what you want is half of $34,000, you are profiting from her injury.
I had medical expenses that exceeded over $4,000.
And I'm going to tell you something, madam. You may have medical expenses that exceeded almost $4,000. I don't believe you paid them. And if you can produce paid bills from any of these doctors, you have the right to reschedule this case. But today was your day to come into court with proof. And you came to court with no proof. You came to court with bills that were still unpaid according to the bills. Because on the bottom, I can guarantee you, it says, please remit. Right?
Correct.
Please remit means that there's still money owed. So, if I'm wrong, produce a paid bill from half of those people. But if you can't, then how can you justify taking half of your daughter's money?
The same thing I just told you about the $4,000. I've only taken
Listen, let's say a month from now you can produce bills for me for $4,000.
Correct.
I doubt it, because you're not going to be able to. But let's say you can. Why do you think you're entitled to $17,000?
I only kept $3,000.
So is what you're saying that you don't intend to keep half of the rest of the checks? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
You're questioning. That's a question. Is what you're saying you only want to be reimbursed for what you spent out of pocket, and the rest of the money you intend to turn over to your daughter, and the most you've spent so far, according to you, which I don't believe, is $4,000?
Correct.
Fine. Then, right now, I am issuing a provisional judgment for your daughter in the amount of $3,000, which means you're going to turn over that $3,000 to her in 30 days. You have 30 days to send into the court paid bills from those people, from the doctor, the hospital, whoever else was involved. And if you can do that, then I will rescind the order. Is that fair?
Yes. Can I say something too?
Yes, I just want to know if you think that that's fair.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
I also found another, in the statement, or the settlement, it says that when it was settled, there was $9,166 that was paid. And of that sum, $6,666.66 will be paid to my attorney, and $2,500 will be paid to me for Angela's benefit. I know that the $2,500 is to be used only for Angela's benefit, and I will deposit that sum in a restricted account. I further understand that the balance will be held.
Can I see that? Can I see what you're reading from that one?
And I've never seen any of this money either. So that could...
Can I see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This you didn't give me. This says that at the time you signed this agreement, you got a check for $9,166. $6,666 was paid to your attorney, and $2,500 was paid to you for Angela's benefit. And you were directed to deposit that money in a restricted bank account. And I further understand, you signed this, that the balance will be held and invested for Angela's use. What'd you do with the money?
I put her through braces.
As a mother, I would think that that's...
Shh. You have a bill for the braces?
No, but she did have braces, which I made payments on.
Well, when did she have braces?
I believe she got them when she was 10 or 11.
Well, a lot of kids get braces, madam, that have absolutely nothing to do with an accident. Most of my children had braces. They were never in a car accident.
She had fractured her jaw, and when she fractured her jaw, it positioned it backwards.
You have proof of that?
Did she fracture her jaw?
No.
Oh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
I hate to do this, but I have to. Could I see it? Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Weidinger says her mother, Deborah Povis, stole her settlement check from an accident when she was 4 years old. Angela claims her mother is trying to cash in on her injuries.
Okay, I've heard you. And I've heard what you're saying, which is now memorialized, that you do not intend to take any more of your daughter's money, that you intend to endorse the remainder of the checks over to her that she's going to be receiving in the coming years. That the only thing in question is the $3,000 that you kept from this year's settlement check, and that you are going to provide the court within 30 days of paid bills. If you do that, your daughter has acknowledged that any money that you were out of pocket as a result of this accident should be reimbursed to you, right?
Right.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000 to be held for 30 days. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
With everything that's gone on in the past 20 years of my life, it's just been ridiculous, so I thought it was finally time to bring it into law.
We've had a rocky relationship.
Since I was 8, I've been in and out of her house, living with my grandparents, living with my aunt.
She's never lived, per se, with my parents. She stayed with them briefly.
I moved out at 17 and have been supporting myself since then.
She did move out on her own when she was 17.
Me and her have never really gotten along as mother and daughter.
I'm hoping that now this is over with, it's done with, that we can both move on with our lives.
I don't see a relationship at all.
Maybe try to make a bridge.
I really want nothing to do with that side of the family.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Doheny versus Cephas, step forward.
20-year-old student Kevin Doheny is suing commission consultant Donna Cephas and her son, 16-year-old Keith Cephas, for the cost of a cover for his Cobra Mustang. Kevin says Keith burned a hole into it when he flicked his cigarette.
Mr. Doheny, it is your claim that Mrs. Cephas's son, your first name?
Keith.
Keith, was smoking and was careless, burned a hole in your car cover, and I assume that that is the car cover in there.
Correct.
And it's a small hole, is that right?
A cigarette hole.
You want him to pay for a new car cover.
Absolutely.
And Mrs. Cephas says, first, it was an act of God, the wind blew the cigarette, and second, you can get a kit to patch it. So why buy a whole new car cover when all it is a patch?
Correct.
I know, I hate to do this, but I have to. Could I see it?
Yes.
How big is that car cover?
It's for a Ford Mustang Cobra. It covers the whole car.
Is that your
My
pet
pride
car?
and joy.
Could
Yes,
I
it is.
see that? I know somebody else who keeps their car covered. I could never understand that. You got to take it off and get into the car and then put it on. Understand that? Had you just purchased this?
Yes, ma'am, I did. A month prior.
Can I see the bill, please? Okay. And he's a friend of yours, is that right?
Yeah, I tutored him in school.
Okay.
And I would help him out, work on his car and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the $169.95.
Okay. Ta-da! Say something.
Tell me what happened.
Okay. Well, what happened was I was standing outside. I just finished a cigarette and I went to go flick it. I flicked it like that way. His car was over here, and the wind took the cigarette like literally over my head and landed on the car cover. And then I seen it land on the car cover, so I flicked it off. And then I didn't realize it was going to make a burn hole in it. And then next day, while I was in school, he calls me and tells me that I burned a hole in his car cover.
So?
And he wanted me to buy him a new car cover.
So?
I told him that I had a patch kit and I would come look at the hole to see how bad it was.
He doesn't want it patched. He wants it the way it was before you flicked your cigarette. Do you have anything you want to say, Mrs. Cephas?
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that, you know, he did burn the hole, but, I mean, it's not like he literally went up and burned the hole. I mean, he flicked the cigarette, you know, the wind
He was careless.
took it.
He was careless.
Yes.
He was careless.
Right, but I mean, he didn't purposely do it, but he did say, I will try to fix it. He's not avoiding his responsibility.
He can fix it.
The patch, yeah, you can with those vinyl, the little vinyl kits, because we had patched other vinyl. We had a roof.
He doesn't want a patch.
I understand, but I really don't feel as though we should have to pay for a brand new one if it can be fixed. He didn't even try. He just out and out said, no, I want a brand new one. You could fix it. You could take it yourself. Well, I don't want a cover.
Well, you just bought yourself a cover. You just bought yourself a cover. Let's say you saved up for a very long time to buy yourself a very special leather coat. And some stranger negligently cut a hole in the coat. Small hole. You just spent $500 on this leather coat that you had been lusting over. And they said, gee, I'm so sorry, I was careless and I'm so sorry. I'm going to get a patch kit. So you can patch it. You say, I don't want a patch kit. I just bought this brand new leather coat. Why should I patch it when it could split? It may not split today, it'll split tomorrow, or it'll split next month, or 6 months from now. It's perfectly good. Why would I want to accept something that's second rate? You got it?
Yes.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $169.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Huffine, was the defendant... What I gather is you had one son.
Yes.
Her daughter was in a relationship with your son.
Yes.
And he was tragically killed.
Right.
At that time, you decided to buy some burial plots.
5 of them.
So that when your son was buried, you would know that you would be buried next to him and where the family would be. She bought plots above you.
Her daughter did.
In any event, this is your complaint. You found out that a stranger had been buried in one of your plots.
Yes.
And it is your claim that Ms. Donovan caused that to happen.
Yes.
And that she forged your signature for the authorization with the cemetery.
Yes.
In order to move around the spots.
Right.
You say you never gave you permission for that.
That's correct.
And you want to be compensated.
Yes.
Ms. Donovan says that you did, in fact, give your permission, and she says that she can prove that you gave your permission. And she is counterclaiming because she said she's had to go through all kinds of legal gymnastics to clear herself of these allegations. So first tell me, when did your son pass away?
In 1997, December 24th.
And how did he die?
The doctor made a mistake, drilled into his brain.
So it was a surgical error?
Yes.
How long had you been living with Ms. Donovan at the time?
Less than 2 years.
And how long had your son been involved in a relationship with her daughter?
Probably since, 13 years old.
How old was he when he died?
18.
Now, can you show me, please, the burial plot locations? I would like to be able to see that so I could put it in context.
I have the video right here, if you'd like it.
I would. Can you hold that a second, please? Mr. Huffine, can you walk up to the monitor, please?
Yes.
And I'd like you to sort of point out with me to your figure as it's being explained to me.
All righty.
Okay.
This one here is my parents. They're located in the upper cemetery. This right here is my son. When he passed away, I bought these 5 lots right here, this one included. I bought these 2 for me and whoever I was married to, and my ex-wife and whoever she was married to at the time. And the son was in the middle.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So you bought your sons, one for you, one for your wife, if should you remarry, one for your former wife, and her mate.
Yes, I
so
did.
that you would all be together. Now, where did the defendant's daughter buy their plot?
She bought the one in front of my son.
Excuse me? One, just a second. One plot or 2?
Just one.
In front of his?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And on May 3rd, I got a call from my ex-wife, and she said, I'm at the cemetery. And she said, it scared me to death. Someone was in your plot, my plot that I bought. And I said, no, I think you're mistaking. And she says, no, I'm not. So I called Jerry, and I said, you didn't do anything with these plots, did you? And she goes, no, I didn't. So I went down the cemetery, and I seen that Anthony David was buried in one of my plots. So I went up to the...
Was it the one right next to your son or
No,
one
it
over?
was the end. So I went up to the main office there at the cemetery, and they gave me a letter that Jerry had wrote and forged and switched plots on me.
Can I see a copy of that
Yes.
letter, please?
And here's one for the notary if you'd like to look at that too, saying that he did not do that.
I'd like to see both. Continue.
And at this point, I went through different attorneys. They explained to me what she had did, and they gave me a copy of that.
And you said I never signed it.
No, I never signed that. She also called the cemetery and told them she did not remember doing this.
That's hearsay. Yes, I'll hear you.
I thought it would make it easier. I do have copies from the cemetery of the plots. That would make it easier for you.
I'd like to see them, please. Okay. Tell me the circumstances surrounding the plaintiff agreeing to switch cemetery plots so that you and your daughter would be together.
Side by side. I'd be head-to-head with Larry. She would be head-to-head with Michael. Michael's mother and her boyfriend would be on one side of Michael.
And Anthony Davis is a stranger to everybody.
Right.
So I want you to tell me the circumstances surrounding Mr. Huffine agreeing to make that change, which in effect would say to him, if you marry either your wife or your ex-wife's mate could not be buried in the same line. Explain that to me.
When we bought the plots, and we did...
By the way, who bought them?
I did.
Larry did. They were under his name.
He paid for them.
Yes, but...
So he paid for them, so they were his plots.
Right, but all my monies went into Larry's checking account, and I do have proof of that.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
He bought the plots.
He bought the plots. They were in his name. At some point, I don't have a date, but I believe it was in early 1999, my daughter had said she wished that I would have bought my plot next to her. And she said, well, I wonder if you can switch it. I said, I don't know. So I called the cemetery. I asked the cemetery, can you exchange your plot if you want to? They said you can, as long as you do it before the last payment is made, and it has to be a letter
from the owner,
a request
from the
in
owner.
writing, notarized. So I didn't do it immediately. I thought about it for a little bit of time, and to be honest, I don't remember any specific hard, long talks between Larry and myself. I just remembered that he did agree to it. I did write the letter out myself.
You wrote the letter out yourself, and that was in 1999.
Correct.
Were you still together as a couple then?
Yes, we were.
When did you separate from Mr. Huffine?
The end of August 1999.
So not far after this.
Not
so I
far.
assume things had not been going well for a while.
Larry had suffered a lot of personality changes due, I guess, to Michael's death.
So things had not been going well for a while.
Right.
If you separated in August, and this was done in May, it was a brief few months. So I assume that in May, things were not going well between the two of you.
Everything seemed to be going fine, except for that Larry was very depressed a lot.
So things were not going fine.
Well, I don't know
I'm not
exactly what you
interested in what
mean.
you
I
have
mean,
to
we
say
weren't
now.
screaming, fighting, tearing each other's hair out.
Well, then how come you separated a couple of months later?
Because the end of June or July, he went to work in Utah, and he had an affair.
Yes.
And when I found out, I moved out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That's his handwriting.
That is inconsistent with the notary's logbook.
Well, his log states that just one individual came.
Correct, and that's Miss Donovan, and she signed the cemetery affidavit.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Huffine claims ex-girlfriend Sheindlin Donovan forged documents so she could switch around his prepaid grave plots.
So things were going absolutely fine until that time.
To me, they were.
And to you?
No, before I told her in the beginning of '99 she would be moving to start saving her money up and get her a place.
When did you tell her that?
Probably February.
Tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
It took place. She told me she was going to move her daughter back in, and I said, no, she's not. And she says, well, if she's not moving back in, I'm moving out. And I said, well, I have to go to Utah till the end of August. When I come back, have your own place.
Why did you not want her to move her daughter back in?
Many different reasons. Her daughter was very disrespectful. She was 19 years of age. She was experienced an ecstasy drug, and I didn't want to be around it. And I told her no, and she could not accept that answer.
And that was in February.
That was in February. She knew.
After February, did you continue to live as a family with the defendant?
Yes.
Well, then how did she know you were serious?
Because when I told her she was moving out, I was very serious. She knew that.
Okay. Was your daughter living with you in January of 1999?
I don't believe so.
Was there a time when she was planning on moving back in 1999?
I don't remember.
Okay. It is your claim, Ms. Donovan, that the plaintiff agreed to switching of these plots. And according to your answer, you have an expert witness who is prepared to testify with regard to that. I'd like to hear the witness. Is that you?
Yes.
Step up, please. Witness been sworn, Berg?
Witness has been sworn, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Andrea McNichol.
Miss McNichol, when did you become familiar with the defendant?
Well, I actually just by telephone on May 8th, 2003.
And what did she tell you?
She asked me to examine a document, I guess you're calling that the cemetery plot document that
Yes.
was notarized. I asked her for the original. It's always best to examine the original. She called back later and said she made an attempt to get the original, that they would not make it available. I told her that anything that I could find would have to be contingent on that the copies that I looked at were true representations of the original. In other words, sometimes you get the original and you see that someone had cut and pasted something on there, or there are things on that that you cannot see when you see the copies. After that, she provided a large sampling of signatures. I told her to get the signatures of Larry Huffine and the notary.
Okay. This letter from the notary. Did you, in fact, examine the signature on the notary?
Yes.
And you concluded that the signature on the notary was the same?
Yes.
To my naked eye, the J's are totally different.
Well, if you'll notice on the letter, he writes his J's 4 times.
Well, he wrote it because he evidently looked at this. You've seen this logbook?
Yes.
It is clear that according to the notary's logbook, he did in fact notarize something for Miss Donovan.
Correct. But I would like to call your attention to the fact that I was also provided a large sampling of his signatures, not just the one.
May I see them, please?
Yes. Actually, I prepared this whole report. This is the copy they made for you.
Now that's what I'm looking at. Well, clearly, his signature on this document, which has nothing to do with this case, but I'm just looking at the signature, the J is different from the J on this document. Let's take a look.
I don't find it different.
Let's take a look.
You never sign your name the same way twice.
Let's take a look. No, but this J is totally backwards.
It's
and
my
that's
opinion
totally
that
different.
That's his handwriting.
I'm just asking you about the J.
Okay,
that's
well,
totally different.
This other document he signs, in my opinion, with several shapes to the letter J.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This doesn't strike you as being strange?
Yes, it does.
Somebody sends an I love you greeting card and signs it, love, Larry Huffine?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Huffine says ex-girlfriend Sheindlin Donovan switched around his prepaid grave plots without his permission.
What do you say is his handwriting in this?
Just the notary box.
In this?
Just in the notary box. Now, unless the whole notary area was cut and pasted on here, this is his handwriting in this lower
Which is
right
a
corner.
possibility.
Yes, without seeing the original, it is a possibility.
That is inconsistent, however, with his log.
Right, but his contention...
No, not his contention, but it's inconsistent with his log.
Well, his log states that just one individual came
Correct. Just one individual, and that's Miss Donovan, and she signed a cemetery affidavit. Okay. And it is your opinion that the signature on this cemetery document is his signature?
Yes.
Would you go over there and bring that board up closer to me so that I can see it?
I do have original documents, if you'd like to see them.
Okay, so the question signature from this cemetery document is at the top.
Okay.
Okay, now I have not had the opportunity to examine the original, but if the copy shows that there was not a cut and paste and that this ink was placed upon the paper, then these signatures match exactly to these other signatures.
Some of these are from checks and some of these are from other things.
Correct.
Cards, greeting cards, etc.
Yes.
Okay. Put that back, please, Ms. McNichol. I'd like you up here, please. Are you telling me that you made your decision based on the documents that the defendant gave you?
Yes.
And one of the documents that she gave you was a greeting card. I have it here, Hallmark greeting card. I'd like to see the original. Bird, would you hand me the original, please?
I think that's all of them. There's several originals.
I just want to look at the greeting card.
A little strange with a love and a full name.
Isn't it?
There's a...
This is the one. Ms. McNichol, this doesn't strike you as being strange?
Yes, it does.
Somebody sends an I love you greeting card and signs it, love, Larry Huffine?
And the
He
date.
signed every card he ever gave me.
Everything she gave me
Full,
was like
Larry D. Huffine, Larry Huffine, always. And it is strange.
3700, love, Larry Huffine.
I can only go on what's presented to me.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good. Now I will hear from your daughter. She's been dying to say something. I'm going to hear from you.
Your Honor, you have a letter right in front of you from the cemetery saying that the document is an original document.
No,
and
it's not an original. I don't have an original.
It's a true
It is a
corporate.
true.
I do not have an original.
The city of Las Vegas will not release it.
I do not have an original,
No,
and neither, listen to me, and neither did your forensic expert have an original. Now, your forensic expert could have seen the original, but your forensic expert does not have the original.
No, that's not what I'm referring to, ma'am.
Fine.
I'm referring to you have a letter before you.
I understand what you told me, that some clerk said that this is a copy of the original. I understand what you're saying to me. You're not going to be able to change that your forensic expert did not have the original. I have to make a judgment, and my judgment is based on several things. I believe, Ms. McNichol, that you are a qualified expert in the field of forensics. I believe that you were quite honest with me when you said that you did not have the original, and that perhaps, had you had the original, your judgment would have been different. Without having the original, you believe the copy of the document that I have is Larry Huffines' signature. I disagree with you. I have to ask myself why someone who had so carefully planned for the death of his entire family would have permitted a scenario where a stranger could be buried next to him. That's one thing. The timing of this letter is also very important. Ms. Donovan would have me believe that Mr. Huffine would, during a time of domestic strife, be so kind as to permit the defendant and her daughter to move into a situation where a stranger is occupying the cemetery plots that he has bought and paid for. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. So I do not believe that he ever agreed to this. Now, I also find most bizarre a love card that is signed Love Larry Huffine. But some people maybe that's strange. And it is possible that that's strange. I have to make a judgment based upon what has a ring of truth to it. What has a ring of truth to it is Miss Donovan's daughter wanted to be close to her mother and close to the teenage boyfriend. And she persuaded her mother, who knew she was on her way out of this relationship, to forge this signature. I believe that that's what happened. And since I'm the final arbiter, because that's where you've put this case, your counterclaim, Miss Donovan, for damages due to defamation of character and slander are dismissed, and I am awarding Mr. Huffine the $5,000 that he has requested, which is the maximum possible allowance that this court can grant him, although I don't know how he can ever rectify the situation that has occurred with the cemetery plot. I doubt very much whether he can, and for that I am sincerely sorry. That's all. This case is over.
Parties are excused. The calendar in the matter of Gonzalez versus Murillo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Ms. Gonzalez, you are employed as a paralegal for a law firm, and it is your claim that the defendant, who is a client of that firm, assaulted you. You want to be compensated. Mr. Murillo says that he did not assault you, that he was a client who was not only dissatisfied, but was really given short shrift by your firm. He's counterclaiming. Mr. Murillo, I'm going to start with you, sir. What kind of case did you have that brought you to the plaintiff's law firm?
On April 7, I hired the Office of Attorney Aragon to help me establish visitation rights to have my daughter in my life.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 7 years old.
Had you seen her regularly before that?
No, I tried for the first 4 years with her mother on my own. It just never went anywhere. I gave up, but I'm back again, and I want to establish
What do you mean you're back
right.
again? Where had you been, Mr. Murillo?
Well, I had just a son being born. Now he's a newborn. So I want my daughter to know her brother, and I want her to be in my life. So then I went to court. Now knowing that my ex-girlfriend will not listen to anything, I realized I have to take legal proceedings to establish visitation rights.
So you hadn't seen your daughter in 7 years?
No, I did see her for 4 or 5 years. The last 2 years, I just completely gave up because her mother won't let me see her.
She made it difficult.
Very difficult.
Okay. What was the name of the lawyer that you saw, sir?
Daniel Aragon.
Danielle.
Yes.
Is that person here today?
Yes, Your Honor. The gentleman right there.
Daniel. Is that? Oh, Daniel. That's you. Step up, please. Pronounce your last name?
Aragon, Your Honor.
Okay. How much did you pay Mr. Aragon, Mr. Murillo?
I gave him $800 on April the 7th as an initial deposit, and I have a copy of that check here.
What did he do for you on April 7th? Did he start a proceeding for visitation?
After April 7th, I was supposed to make an appointment with them to give them documentation, tax returns for the last 2 years, check stubs, etc. I made an appointment with them for April the 9th. I met with Ms. Gonzalez here to give her all my documents, and on that day also, they asked me for a $25 filing fee. They said they needed. So I gave them that also, and I have a copy of that receipt also here.
Okay, so that was on the 9th. So the 9th you went in, and you just saw Miss Gonzalez and gave her all the paperwork that Mr. Aragon asked you for.
Correct.
Is that right? What was the next thing that happened?
2 days later, I received a letter by the district attorney saying that I needed to be in court on May the 5th. They said that I needed to come in to prove that I have insurance for my daughter, which I do, and to modify my order.
Your order of support?
Yes.
So they were bringing you to court?
The DA, by coincidence, they happened to send me a letter.
Okay. So on May 5th, you were supposed to go to court.
Correct.
So what did you do?
I proceeded right away to take the documentation to Mr. Aragon's office because since they're my attorneys, I figured they should help me.
Okay, so when did you go to the office? On what date?
I don't have the exact date, but I received the documents on the 10th. I would say sometime between the 10th and the 15th of April, I gave them the documents. I walked them in myself because I work across the street from where they are.
And who did you give them to?
To the clerk in the front office. They have a clerk in the front office. I said, these are my documents. I said, give them to my attorney. Make sure they call me. Let me know what it is that we're going to do.
And what was the next thing that happened, sir?
They never called me back. I kept calling them, kept calling them, kept calling them.
Who
Nobody
did you speak
called me
to?
back. I called the clerks in the front desk every time.
Why didn't you go over there?
Oh, I did go over there twice by myself. Personally, I went and I left messages with at the front desk with the lady.
What was the date of the incident, Ms. Gonzalez, when you say that Mr. Murillo assaulted you?
It was on May 5th, Your Honor.
So on May 5th, somebody's supposed to be in court with him.
No, Your Honor, we were never contracted for that. We were contracted to do his custody case and a child support case, but it wasn't in our contract where we were going to represent him when the DA served him.
Which one of you geniuses told him that?
Well,
Which one of you geniuses told him that?
Well, it was never said.
It was not you, genius. Was it you, genius?
Your Honor, I mean, he just testified that he contracted with us to represent him on a custody matter. He was going on a child support case.
Listen to me. Didn't you understand what I said to you, Mr. Aragon?
Yes.
You have a layperson who has given you $800 so that as far as they're concerned, they believe that you are their attorney. He comes to your office on 2 separate occasions, at least. The first time he brings you documents, the documents that you say you needed. Then he comes back again because he has gotten this notification to appear in court on the 5th of May. He comes back and he calls your office because there's no question in my mind that he did that. Not a question that he did that. Your answer to me is, we were not contracted to deal with that case, so we never did anything with that case. And I say to you, which one of the geniuses in your office told him that his $800 didn't buy representation on May 5th?
Well, Your Honor...
The answer is, no genius from your office told him that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You've got some chutzpah suing him for the balance of your fee when you've done nothing for this man. I'm surprised he hasn't reported you to the Bar Association, sir.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Oh,
that's why we're
there
here.
You go. There you go. Sit down, sir.
And later today...
You reported front page of a newspaper that you observed the plaintiff using a controlled substance. He says it absolutely never happened.
Well, I stand by what I wrote.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paralegal Rashida Gonzalez claims former client Pablo Murillo assaulted her at her place of work. Pablo says he's being scammed.
What did you do for him for the $800, Mr. Aragon?
Your Honor, we had prepared a date for a custody case for Mr.
Show me.
Do you have it
We
on
don't
you?
have that with us.
We don't have that with us.
What do you mean you prepared a date? What does that mean, Mr. Aragon, that you prepared a date?
We filed an OSC on behalf of Mr. Murillo on his...
You filed an order to show cause?
Yes, on Hale
Who
Street.
signed the order to show cause, Mr. Aragon?
Did.
Who signed the order to show
Mr.
cause?
Murillo did, Your Honor.
He did?
Did he not?
Yes, he did, because that's
When did he sign? Just a second. When did he sign the order to show cause? You know, I know that he has to sign the order to show cause. What date?
It was on April 9th, the day he came in for his appointment to see me to prepare the paperwork for the order to show cause. That's when I prepared it, and I was asking him exactly what he wanted as far as custody.
Let me see it.
I don't have it with me.
You have it?
They didn't give it to me, no. They didn't. They kept everything.
What was the return date of the order to show cause?
We didn't. We had submitted it to the court, but we hadn't picked it up yet.
Your Honor.
Just a second. What do you mean you submitted it to the court and you hadn't picked it up yet?
Yeah, it was sent to the court for filing.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that there's another small claims case. It's a breach of contract case, and that's not before us right now. This is a battery case. It's a separate case against me and Mr. Maria.
For what?
For breach of contract, and then he filed a countersuit. That's not an issue right now.
Breach of contract for what?
Because he still owes us money. He hasn't fulfilled the terms
What
of the
did you do for your money?
Well, we were going to prepare his OSC for visitation, for legal custody, for joint legal custody and joint physical custody.
I'm asking you what you did for $800.
We were in the process of preparing his case.
Well, I want to tell you something, sir. I wouldn't go to your law firm.
Okay.
I wouldn't go to your law firm. You have not been able to answer directly one question that I posed. I said, what did you do for your $800? You said to me, and English is your tool, sir. You said to me, we were in the process of preparing an order to show cause. Your paralegal says she prepared it and she submitted it to the court. Now, which one was it?
It was prepared, Your Honor. He was there.
But your boss didn't know that. Your boss just said to me, we were in the process of preparing a case, and nobody bothered to pick it up. We're now months later. So you did Zippo for $800. Nothing.
I'd like to tell Your Honor, this is a battery case. This has nothing to do with the contract.
Let me explain something to you, sir. This case involves his claim that he came to your office on May 5th after having dropped off files and a summons to appear in court on May 5th with your front office. Nobody called him. Nobody contacted him to say, I'm sorry, if you want us to represent you on this case, this is a different matter. Don't speak to her. We do not represent you on this case, sir. If you want us to represent you on this case, you have to come in, we have to take additional information, make an appointment. What you did was you ignored him. And on May 5th, he was supposed to go to court, and he didn't have a lawyer, despite the fact that he had plonked down $800 for you, who did so far nothing. Goose egg.
Okay, Your Honor, at any time, Mr. Murillo could have made an appointment to see any of the
attorneys. Let me explain something to you. He came in, Miss Gonzalez, and somebody in your front office said, we will give him the message. He gave him the papers. The fact that they couldn't find their way to this guy is a mystery to me. How many times did he come in?
The only time I had seen him come into the office was on May 5th.
He came in before May 5th. He is not a stupid man. If he got notification from the district attorney that he was due in court on May 5th, he came in before. He gave somebody the papers, and he said, please have somebody call me, and nobody called him. He doesn't know whether he's a foot or horseback. I mean, you've got some chutzpah suing him for the balance of your fee when you've done nothing for this man. I'm surprised he hasn't reported you to the Bar Association, sir.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Oh,
that's why we're
there
here.
You go. There you go. Sit down, sir. Sit down, sir. Now, he came in on May 5th. Now you want to tell me what happened when he came in on May 5th? You told him he didn't have an appointment and he had to leave.
I told him he needed a scheduled appointment. I would have been more than willing to assist him and get an attorney in court with him. It wouldn't have been a problem, but he was very aggressive and he was speaking in a very bad way. I mean...
Madam, don't you understand?
I understand.
Don't you understand? He comes in the morning, he's due in court on May 5th. People in your office have been jerking him around now for 2.5 weeks. And you say, do you have an appointment? You don't have an appointment? You're going to need an appointment. Would that be frustrating to you?
Yes, I do understand. It would have been very
In just that tone of voice that you're talking to me. Very monotone. He is gone. He doesn't know where he is. You have done nothing from the 7th, when he gave you $800, to the 5th, as far as getting him a court date with regard to visitation, which you have not gotten. You have not gotten the papers back from the court. You don't have a copy of them here with you in court today. You didn't give him a copy of those papers that you allege that you had him sign without, I might add, showing them to a lawyer. Because according to you, he sat in your office on April 9th. You filled out the papers, a paralegal. You had him sign them without even showing them to a lawyer. I don't think you're allowed to do that, madam. Do you understand? Now, I would like you to tell me how he assaulted you, and let's be brief. First of all, before I go into how he assaulted you, were you hospitalized?
No.
When was the first time after the 5th of May that you saw a doctor as a result of the assault?
I didn't, Your Honor. It's the
Just a second. So you did not see a doctor, and you did not go to the hospital. Then you want to tell me how he injured you.
I was very offended by him putting his
I'm
hands
very
on me.
offended by your behavior.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paralegal Rashida Gonzalez claims former client Pablo Murillo assaulted her at her place of work. Pablo says he's being scammed.
Now, you were offended by his behavior because he pushed you.
Yes, and he had no right to
You
put
had
his
no
hands-
right to push her. Please apologize.
I'm sorry, but I didn't.
That's good. He just apologized for pushing you. That's what you're entitled to. You're not entitled to a lawsuit. You're entitled to recognize that when people come to an office, especially an office that does domestic relations cases, they are in high emotional gear. And just because he doesn't know whether he's a foot or horseback, I have a feeling you have more of a brain than he does. You should understand that people who come to your office are really stressed. They're there because they want to see a child. The child is being taken away from them. It's an emergency. And you treat it as routine, and that is unconscionable. Unconscionable. So your lawsuit is dismissed. Now, as far as you're concerned, sir, did you get your $800 back?
I'm still fighting with them about that.
Well, unfortunately, you do not have a counterclaim for your money back. I would give it back to you if you had a counterclaim because they did nothing for you.
I did file a countersuit because he's filing a suit against me that I breached contract, so I filed a countersuit
Well, I want
regarding
to tell
that.
you something. You take a copy of this tape and you send it to the Bar Association.
Yes,
Do you understand?
Yes, yes, yes.
And
sir.
if I were him, I would be very swift to write out an office check for $800 and return his money. Unless, sir, you can't tell me, as you're standing here, that you have a court date for his visitation case. Do you?
Your Honor, he's
Do
getting
you?
nothing.
The answer is yes or no.
Nothing. He'll get nothing back.
The answer is you do not have a current court date for his visitation case because you did nothing.
Not true.
The case is dismissed. That's all.
He didn't have a right to put his hands on me.
I never have touched a woman in my life. Never would I ever do that.
He's a stereotypical absentee father. He hasn't seen his kids in 7 years.
Oh, that's just the lawyer speaking. He just wants to talk and talk and talk. You know, if I was that type of father, I wouldn't even be trying to do this.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Parsons versus Arthur. Step forward, please.
Musician Robert Parsons and reporter Andrew Arthur are in court for a second time. Robert says Andrew wrote an article claiming he is a marijuana user. The judge has ordered a drug test to settle the dispute once and for all.
Oh, it's nice to see you folks back. Let's see if my memory is correct. The last time you were here, this matter was adjourned for a drug test.
Yes.
It was adjourned for a hair follicle test. The issue was a relatively simple one. The defendant wrote an article in which he claimed that he observed you smoking marijuana. And you say that that is absolutely untrue because of a lot of things, including a family history of substance abuse. You never used drugs. You agreed to take a hair follicle test. Did you take the test, sir?
Yes.
How did they conduct the procedure? What happened? You went in and
They
you have to
saved
show
up.
them identification?
Yes.
What kind of identification did you show them?
My driver's license.
And they performed the test by cutting a piece of hair?
Actually, they shaved off my pubic hair.
So you were absolutely committed to the idea that you were not using marijuana. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Did we get the test results?
I think you have them.
Do you have them? Thanks, Bert. Before I look at these, I believe, Mr. Arthur, the last time we were here, it was agreed by all parties that if the test results, which I have not seen, were negative, then the plaintiff would be successful in this lawsuit. If the test results were positive, his lawsuit would be dismissed. I would like you to show the test results, please, to Mr. Arthur. Mr. Arthur, I want you to listen to me very carefully, sir. It's my job to determine the truth.
Okay.
And I have a difficult situation here. I have you who both verbally and in print in a newspaper, front page of a newspaper, reported that you observed with your own eyes the plaintiff using a controlled substance. That report in the newspaper could not be challenged by the plaintiff unless it was untrue. Because if it was untrue, then you've subjected him to a whole bunch of negatives, including the fact that he's engaged in a custody dispute now over a child, and the mother of that child is or was going to use this article as leverage. So you have to be very careful. Now, I have to make a decision as to which of you is telling the truth. You say you observed it, and he says it absolutely never happened. The test result is clear, Mr. Rother. It says that there, and by the way, this test demonstrates the presence of a controlled substance over a long period of time. It's not like a urine test because drugs dissipate in the body very quickly, but drugs build up in hair follicles and in hair so that you can tell over a long period of time not only when the drug was used, but in what concentration. The test results are negative, Mr. Rother. How do you explain that, sir?
I can't explain it. Well, I stand by what I wrote.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Rother, science does not stand by what you wrote. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 595 on the calendar in the matter of Gaskins versus Schutz. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Gaskins, this is your mom? Is that right? You have two children?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
Brittany's 11 and Haley's 9.
How many years did your children live with your mother alone?
None.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
Well, you seem to indicate that your mother took the children at one point. I mean, you say in your petition that you kidnapped your children, which means that for a period of time the children lived with her.
She filed a protection order.
I asked you a very simple question. You say the children never lived with your mother without you being there. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I did say that.
Did the children ever live with you without your daughter being present?
Yes, they did.
For how long?
Probably for about 5 years of their life.
From when to when?
And that's not true.
I would say Brittany was probably 6 months old till about the age of 5.
Where was your daughter?
She's lived with 4 or 5 different boyfriends on and off throughout the period of time. And left the children there.
Left the children where?
The children stayed at my house.
And I've always lived there. It was my physical residence. I have proof of that.
All right. Your complaint, Ms. Gaskins, against your mother is twofold. First, that she has harassed you, and the nature of her harassment has been that she has called Child Protective Services complaining about your care of the children on I don't know how many occasions.
23 times.
And the second thing is that after you moved out of her house with your children, she refused to let you take property. So let's hear about what you perceive to be your mother's harassment by calling Child Protective Services.
You want to hear about her? You want to see it?
Well, I'll take a look at them first.
Okay. It all started December 7th is when she made the report, is because she wanted to gain custody of my children.
December 7th of what?
2000.
Okay. Let me see that report. That's when it started.
And she also made my children lie and say that I duct taped it.
Who's Lionel?
It's my ex-husband.
Is he the father of these two children?
Yes, he is.
Do the children see their father?
Yeah, they do every other weekend.
Does he support them?
He pays $214.30 a month.
Who else supports them?
It's me and my fiance.
Do you work?
Do I work? No.
That's my question.
Yeah, I work.
For whom?
I work for MedPen.
What do you do for them?
I sell diabetic shoes, and I'm also a cosmetologist.
You weren't working at the time of this report, is that correct?
To pursue legal custody of the kid.
Legal custody of the children.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the children been living with?
I was living there, and she filled out a protection order. The police came and removed me from the house because she said I duct tape my kids.
Why would she say that?
Because she wants to gain custody of my children, so she can obtain child support.
$216,000?
It was $450 at the time.
So what you're telling me is you lived with your mom, according to you, and your children continuously until 2000. And in 2000, something happened with your mother so that she wanted to gain custody of the children after all that time to get your child support of $400 a month. So she made up a story about you abusing your kids in order to have the courts give her custody.
Yes.
That's pretty serious.
The girls recanted their story.
What?
The girls recanted their story. It's in that proof that I gave.
I see that the girls recanted their story, but they initially told their story about maltreatment by you. Okay. What was the next report that your mother made? This was 2001, so this was a year later. Now, you were living with your children alone at that time?
No, I wasn't living alone. I lived with my boyfriend.
But you weren't living at your mother's house?
No.
Well, what was the new allegation in this petition?
I'd have to see it.
Here.
Kids complaining they weren't getting enough sleep at night because adults fighting. Cigarette smoke burns the children's eyes and throat. It says adults are drug users and mom is mean to them. Anything she can.
Did you call in this report, by the way?
I don't know if I called that one particular.
Well, I'm talking about only this one.
I've called twice.
You called in the first one?
I don't know.
The first one had to do with the duct taping of the children?
No.
You did not call that one in.
I have proof right here where she had took a protection order against me and signed it and wrote the allegations out.
That doesn't mean that she called Child Protective Services. Did you or did you not call Child Protective Services about the duct tape incident?
No.
No. Okay, and you say you have proof that you did. Let me see it. Duct taping the children's mouths shut and hitting them. She doesn't say that she called Protective Services.
That's the protection order that she took out against me.
She doesn't say that she called Protective Services. She makes the same allegations, or some of them, that are made in this report, but she specifically says here that she herself did not see this, and nowhere did she say that she called Protective Services rather than a school official or a teacher or someone else the children reported to.
In the CPS report, it says my grandma made me say that, or she will smack me with a wooden spoon.
Listen to me very carefully. The only question that I asked your mother was, did you call in this report? And she says she did not. And you said she's lying. She did, because she took out a protective order that says she called Protective Services.
Well,
it doesn't say that she called Protective Services, madam.
But it says that I duct taped my kids to a bedpost.
That is correct, but so did your children. And they didn't report it to your mother. They reported it to other people.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It says she duct taped the girls to the bed. They were screaming, so she duct taped their mouths.
You have to demonstrate to me that she placed that call.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chrissy Gaskin says her mother, Connie Schutz, has harassed her by making over 20 calls to Child Protective Services. Connie claims on one occasion, Chrissy duct taped her children to a bedpost.
All right. You said you called Child Protective Services 2 times.
Right.
In what years did you call Protective Services?
I believe it was 98.
And I live there still.
Good. About what allegations?
Drinking in the house and not going to bed on time and being tired for school.
Well, why would you call Protective Services? You were living in the house with her.
No, that's when she left and she took the kids to live with Jay.
Both times were in 1998?
No, I only called CPS one time, but then I called the Board of Education.
When was that?
I believe the Board of Education was approximately, I think, 2002.
And why did you call the Board of Ed in 2002?
The girls weren't going to school.
How did you know that?
I do daycare, and some of the kids I babysat for were in the girls' class, and I couldn't see the girls because I've only assigned certain days and certain months to see them. So I always say, how's Brittany today, or how's he? I ask about them every day. And I said, just make sure you tell them that Grandma loves them, misses them. And they said, well, Connie, Brittany and Haley wasn't at school today. The next day, they weren't at school. And so as I asked the kids I've watched, they said they weren't at school again.
Gotcha. So that's when you called the Board of Ed.
Right.
Other than those times, have you ever called Child Protective Services about your daughter?
No.
Did you ever call anyone indicating that she was driving around with a suspended driver's license?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you call indicating that she was driving around with a suspended driver's license?
The Vienna Police Department.
When did you call the police department?
It was on 4/18.
What year?
Of 04.
Ms. Gaskins, were you in fact driving with a suspended license in April of 2004?
I did not know they were suspended.
That's not my question.
Yes, I was. I have a cassette tape of the 911 where she had called in.
She says she called in, Colin.
Yeah, but it's if you just hear her how she refers to me.
Go ahead.
Central Communications.
I'm trying to get hold of the Vienna Police Department. Do you know how to get hold of them?
What do you need?
Well, I have this girl that wants to harass me all the time, and she's driving on second offense suspended license, and she's harassing me all the time. And I know it's a known fact that she has no license, no insurance, and she's up here at the mall. So I needed an officer to talk to me, so maybe they can catch her when she pulls out. We'll just see.
Where are you at?
I'm looking at her car at Grand Central Mall right now.
Okay, where are you at on the mall lot? Big lie.
It also states in there that they were suspended since last Friday, and I wasn't living with her for a whole year.
Your driver's license was suspended for not taking care of previous citations.
Yeah,
what
the mail came to her house.
What kind of citations?
A speeding ticket.
Well, that's one citation.
Okay, and another speeding ticket.
So you had 2 speeding tickets, and your license was suspended because you didn't pay the tickets or you didn't respond to them?
No, I didn't get the papers because she received the mail and didn't give me those, and then that's when she called the cops.
Did you do that?
No, not at all.
She wasn't speeding for you. She didn't keep your foot on the pedal, did she?
No, she wasn't. No.
That was your fault.
That was my fault.
Ms. Gaskins.
I have a ticket here you might want to look at, too.
Sure. You had a DUI?
Yes, I have. I lived with her at the time.
Well, this was in '98. You were living with Jay?
No, I was not. I was living at my mom's house until December 12th, 2000.
She never had her address from her mail changed. Her mail always came to my house no matter where she lived.
Why would I want my mail at her house?
And she moved in and out like 10 times.
Okay. So listen to me very carefully, Ms. Gaskins. I have your mother acknowledging that she called in 1998, Child Protective Services. And this is when, according to your mother, you were living out of the home. I have your mother acknowledging that she called the Board of Education on or about 2002 because she believed that the children weren't going to school regularly. And she called the police department 41804 to advise them that you were driving on a suspended license. Do you have any follow-up on the report that she made to the Board of Education in 2002 about your children going to school?
My kids went to school. I have report cards.
No.
I have report my
Listen
kids.
to me. Listen to me very carefully. Okay. Do you have the children's report cards from 2002 that show their attendance?
The only report cards that I brought with me were ones from 04 to 05.
I need 2002. Your mother says the children weren't going to school. It was reported to her.
Does she have proof of that?
Listen to me.
I have all this
very
proof.
carefully. She doesn't have to prove that it's true, madam. You have to demonstrate to me that she embarked on a course of conduct that was frivolous and harassing. So far, you haven't shown me one report that she made to Child Protective Services. Not one.
I can show you that.
Show me.
Okay, right here.
Okay, tell me about it, and then you'll show it to me.
I highlighted it here, and it says, Chrissy was invited, but threw a fit. It was on Mother's Day is when she wanted to take my kids out to eat. And I said, no, it's Mother's Day. I want to spend time with my children. It's Mother's Day. It says Chrissy was invited but threw a fit. She duct taped the girls by their hands and their feet to the bed. They were screaming, so she duct taped their mouths. And then it also states grandparents broke down the door.
First of all, whether it's true or not, I don't know. You have to demonstrate to me that she placed that call.
Exactly.
Now, you said you had 23 instances where your mother called Child Protective Services, and I only have so much time today.
No CPS reports were made when I was living in her house. As soon as I moved out and I gained custody of my children is when all these reports started.
Correct.
Is because she wanted to gain custody. I would never do anything to hurt my kids. The duct taping incident, they recanted their story. Grandparents broke the door down.
We did.
And now she's saying it happened.
Maybe you do.
It did not happen.
Okay.
The girls recanted.
Ms. Gaskins,
their
listen
story.
to me. I know that the girls recanted their story. I read the report, but the girls initially said it was true. Listen to me very carefully. You have the burden of proof to demonstrate to me that she engaged in a course of conduct over a period of time, over allegations that were not true, that she knew were not true, in order to harm you. And so far, you can't sustain that burden.
She closed out my checking account. I've had 23 mysterious...
Just a second. Did you close out her checking account?
Yes, I did.
When and why?
I don't remember the exact date, but why is because my name, it was on the checks, it says Chrissy Gaskins or Connie Schutz.
Is that correct?
On the account, it said Chrissy or Connie.
Right.
But on my personal checks, I put her name on there just in case the girls needed anything.
Just a second.
She could write a check.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen to me very carefully. This was a joint account. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Are you claiming that she took your money out of there?
She took my money out of it. Yeah.
How much money did she take of yours?
It's $12,378.34.
Where did you get $12,000 from?
My oldest daughter, Brittany, she was identical twin, and I lost one at birth, and I've had a settlement.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about no $12,000, but she had a bunch of overdrafts kept coming. So I said, that's it, I'm done. I closed the account out.
Did you take any money out of the account?
There was never any in there.
Okay, so what you have to show me now, Chrissy, is a check cut to your mother for $12,378. This was a CD, time certificate of deposit. This isn't a checking account, this is a CD.
It was a CD, and what she did was she had the CD on my ex-husband's car loan to secure it so he could drive the car. And she closed out my checking account, she paid the car off, and then cashed it in for $4,100.
She paid off the car?
She paid off the car, and then she had the car towed.
There was a cashier's check that was issued for $4,186.27.
Correct.
What is that for?
That was out of the money that was in an account to pay off Lionel's car that was secured against Lionel's car.
No, that was $8,192.07.
Right.
What did you do with the $4,186.27?
Lionel has it. I don't have it.
She just gave it to Lionel.
Gee, I can't figure this out. It's not part of your lawsuit, so I'm really glad I don't have to figure it out. But it seems clear to me, Ms. Schutz, that the $8,000 was used to pay off a loan.
Right.
$4,000 was left. Right. You say you gave the money to Lionel. I haven't a clue why you would give the money to Lionel, but certainly you acknowledge that it's your daughter's money.
Right.
Okay. What else do you want to tell me, Ms. Gaskins?
What else? Okay.
What you're complaining about with your mother is twofold. One, that she has engaged in a course of conduct to harass you, which you have been unable to sustain in a court. You may feel that way.
Can I show you one more thing?
No. The second thing that you allege is that your mother has property that belongs to you and or your children. What items do you claim that your mother retained that belonged to you?
She kept all my summer clothes. I got the girls' bunk beds back, but she didn't give me any of the bolts. My work belongings that were there, like a laptop she kept. I have scissors, since I'm a cosmetologist, that I paid $250 for.
Just a second. Let's start with a laptop. You have a receipt for a laptop computer?
I didn't purchase it. It was owned by Barnum Beauty Supplies. I was working for them.
Did she leave a computer at your house?
Yes, she did.
Where is it?
I called Barnum's Beauty Supplies. They contacted me, left a message on my answering machine, said that they was trying to get a hold of Chrissy. She will not return
Did
calls.
you return the computer to them?
Barnum's, yes, ma'am.
I also have scissors that I paid for, $250 worth of scissors. I had...
Chrissy. It's very sad. I'm not going to be able to fix this very sick pathology that exists between you and your mother. Try to let there be peace for the sake of your children. There was clearly a period of time, Ms. Gaskins, when you needed some sort of support from your mother, a home to go to when you were separated from your husband. You say no, but according to you, you and your children lived there until 2004.
She said that she needed the money to live there. She didn't work. She got paid underneath the table for babysitting. She needed money.
Ms. Gaskins, grow up. Take your papers, put them away. Put your effort into some other basket, please.
In the matter of Sowers versus Manhart. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Ms. Sowers, for how long have you known the defendant?
Approximately 5 years.
In what way do you know him?
I had an affair with him at one time 5 years ago.
And recently, according to what I read, you moved in with him.
At that time, I had left my husband. I lived in my truck for 1 week. I had nowhere else to go, and I asked him if I could rent a room. He agreed to that with a verbal rental agreement that I pay the electric bill, and that was it. Everything else would be taken care of.
Okay.
And that's not right.
I'll get to you in a minute. When did you move in?
I moved in approximately August 12, 2002.
And how long did you stay?
I stayed until October 19th. At that time, I told him I was moving out, that the atmosphere at his house, I had to find myself. I was very confused at that time. Leaving my husband, being there, the alcohol that was involved was a little too much.
Whose, his or yours?
It was both at the time, and I wanted to get away from that.
Okay. According to your complaint, you moved out and he did not let you get your stuff.
No.
The defendant says that he got tired of storing your property, kept it for a while. Put your hands down, sir. Got tired of storing it and ultimately got rid of it. How large an apartment or a house do you have?
I have a 3-bedroom house.
Was she renting a room?
There was no verbal agreement as far as one electric bill versus this, that, and the other. It was...
Well, what was the agreement? Was there
the
any...
agreement was just she was going to help pay this, that, and the other. There was really nothing discussed on
So
it.
there
She
was
said
nothing...
She didn't even have a job when she first moved in.
So there was no formal agreement with regard to rent?
No.
Did she ever come back after the 19th or the 20th to get back some of her clothing?
Yes, roughly about 3 months later, a little after 3 months.
But not before that?
No, I begged, pleaded, groveled, did everything that I offered to get a trailer to get your stuff out of there. I
did.
Just a second,
You
don't
turned down
speak to
Harry
each other.
numerous
Look,
times.
listen to me. Mr. Manhart, look at me. If you want to talk to her, you do that outside. You want to be in court, you talk to me. She left on October 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where did you go?
I rented...
Look at me.
I rented a room in a beach condo.
With somebody else or alone?
With someone else.
With whom?
It was with Henry.
And how long did you live with Henry?
Still am today, still sharing rent.
When you left on October 19th, did you take your clothes?
I took one bag, and I told him that I was making arrangements to get my stuff, to let me know what was, a good time for him to move the stuff. And he said that he was busy this weekend, and next weekend he wasn't going to be in town, and, it was on and on.
Well, we're talking about October. What about November? How many times did you contact him in November?
November, approximately 3 times. Phone calls and stopping by.
And you told him you wanted to get your things?
Yes.
And he said you can't get your things?
He never had a convenient time.
Well, when you stopped by, was he at home?
Yes, he was.
And he said you can't come in and get your things?
He would step outside the front door and say, "Can I help you?" and go like this and stand there and smile at me.
Now, in November, when you couldn't get all of your property, when for the first time did you go to small claims court to sue him for your property in November?
I went to small claims court in May.
I want you to answer my question.
Okay.
When in November did you go to small claims court?
I didn't at that time. I did not have money.
When in December did you go to small claims court?
I didn't. It's more than a small filing fee.
February, March, April, October, November, December, January, February, March, April.
During that time, Your Honor, I had my mother pass away the end of October. That was an airline ticket I had to buy at the last minute. It was a trip. It was unexpected. I talked to him from Ohio. He gave me his condolences. And then he said that I owed him storage money.
That's not true.
Doesn't make any difference to me. What I want to know is, what took you from October of 2002 till May of 2003 to decide you needed this property? Property that you evidently got along without.
No, it
October,
closed
November,
my
December,
business.
January, February, March, April,
You
May,
never
for
had
8
a
months.
business.
I
Make
did
business,
have a
you should
business, Your Honor.
people over.
Shh. What do you mean you had a business?
He has possession of an embroidery machine that cost me $15,000.
Then, madam, what I would have done is lickety-split in November. If he had a piece of property that you had that was worth $15,000, I would absolutely have forfeited a lot of other stuff and even asked old Henry, with whom you are now living, do me a favor, I need $30 to go and file a small claims court case.
I finally got enough money together.
How much did it cost you?
It cost me $198.50. And during that time, I've been paying on a machine that I didn't have possession of.
You know, I'm unmoved. You do have a sewing machine that belongs to that you say...
Yes, it is damaged.
And how did it get damaged?
My ceiling caved in. I have an addition that's off the back of my house. The roof started leaking. I have a 4x8 sheet of drywall. It fell. Matter of fact, it tore up my bed.
But you have it?
Yes.
Okay, and you have no problem returning
I have
it?
no problem whatsoever.
Okay. Do you have any other of her property?
No, ma'am.
What did you do with all the rest of her property?
I put it to the curb. After 3 months, I got tired of it.
What?
I got tired of tripping around it going into my bedroom. I got tired of tripping on it going through the kitchen. I got tired of just even looking at it.
Now,
and
Mr.
dealing with
Manhart, you say that you asked her to come and get her stuff. When
Yes,
did you
numerous
ask her to
times.
come and get her stuff?
Numerous times. I'd ask, will you come and get it on Friday? No. Friday go to Sunday. Sunday go to Wednesday. And
Look at me.
We did this for ages. I even contacted
Who is this
her husband.
person?
That's my father.
Step up. Were you ever involved, Mr. Manhart, in any...
Yes, ma'am. I was over at his house a couple of times when he talked with her, and I offered to unload it right there and take it to wherever she wanted. She didn't have time to do it. This happened twice.
Your Honor, I even contacted her husband and begged and pleaded, and I told him I'd take everything and put it right back to the same driveway it came from. That man said, I do not want to have anything to do with her. He already filed a restraining order on her, and all like that. He wouldn't even accept the property back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's too lazy to get up off the couch with his beer to carry anything out.
You were
I'm
always
sorry.
drunk on vodka.
I haven't drank in 7 months. I'm sorry.
And later today,
He was like really drunk and really upset, so me and Andrew locked ourselves in my bedroom, and he was banging on the door so hard it broke the door, and then like he just like passed out after that.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tawny Sauer says ex-roommate Gary Manhart Jr. won't return her belongings. Gary says she's been dragging this out for months.
Miss Sowers has a difficult case because she waited 8 months to do what she could have done 8 months ago. I don't believe that she made efforts to get her property until 8 months later.
I thought
I'm speaking, and I do believe that you told her, get your stuff out of here, and she didn't. You do have her sewing machine or whatever embroidery machine it is.
Yes.
If you have it, you have to return it. If she can have it fixed, she can
fine.
have it fixed. It's to be returned to her within 5 days.
Sure.
She will make arrangements to come and pick it up. Or maybe your father can...
I'm willing to take it to wherever she wants.
Fine. Where do you want it?
I want it at my house, but I also have something to add to that.
What?
Okay, during that time, the stress with him, he put me off so many times. I had the people to go and pick up the stuff
Miss
and the
Sowers,
truck.
Miss Sowers,
you didn't.
You're getting back your sewing machine. Period.
He
End of
has
discussion.
sentimental items
what?
there.
He got rid of everything. He doesn't have everything. He said he put
He's
it all
too
around
lazy
the
to
car.
get up off the couch with his beer
Listen
to
to
carry
me.
anything
You
out.
were
I'm
always
sorry.
drunk on vodka.
Listen to me very carefully.
And I haven't drank in 7 months. I'm sorry.
Listen to me. You waited, madam, too long.
Starting over is very hard. He had
Miss Sowers,
everything.
the courts do not get involved with how hard it is to start over. I don't
He
believe
had my
that he has the
clothing. I had to
responsibility.
buy the clothing.
I don't believe that
Few
he
words
has the
had.
responsibility, madam, of storing your property for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
He
4
held it
weeks,
hostage.
4 weeks. I'm telling you, he doesn't have that responsibility. You had the ability, when you left his house, to take clothes, to take a carton. He wasn't there when you left, so you had the ability to take whatever you
No.
wanted to take, and if you left the rest of the stuff and made no efforts through the courts to get it, I find you abandoned it. It's as simple as that. 5 days from today, you get your sewing machine back. All other parts of your claim are dismissed. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Please excuse you. May step out.
He wanted a mother, someone to take care of him, someone to pay the bills.
There's a lot of untruths, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't drink anymore. My eyes are wide open, and I will be back.
I'm glad I don't ever have to see her again in my life.
I'm going forward.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Marks versus Copeland, step forward.
18-year-old student Zana Marks is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old pizza deliverer Michael Copeland, for an unpaid loan, the return of her PlayStation, and stabbing her furniture. Michael says he was too drunk to remember.
Miss Marks, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time. Your complaint is threefold. First, you say that he took some property when he moved out, and you want half the value of that property because the property belonged to both of you. Second, you claim that he later came back and in a drunken rage at some point caused all kinds of damage to your home and to your property. And third, that he owes you for a loan that you made to him approximately a year ago in the amount of $750. Mr. Copeland says that the only property he took when he moved out was property that belonged to him, that he was too drunk to remember doing any damage to your apartment the day he came back, but that it is so out of character for him to have done any damage that he's sure he didn't do it. Correct?
Yes.
And third, that the $750 that you claim was a loan was actually a gift because he bought a stereo with that, and there was never any discussion of the repayment of that money.
That's
So
true.
far, is that right?
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Good. Tell me when you moved in together, Miss Marks, and when Mr. Copeland left.
We moved in 3 years ago together. Probably, actually two and a half.
2, 3. Give me a month and a year, please.
December of 01,
And when did Mr. Copeland move out?
May of 03.
Were you working from December of 2001 until May of 2003?
No.
And what about Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, he worked at a liquor store and then pizza delivery.
How were you supporting yourself?
My mom supports me. I go to school, and I was in high school. I just turned 18, and now I go to Citrus.
So you were living with Mr. Copeland when you were a minor?
Yeah, he lived with me and my mom for 6 months, 7 months, and then my mom moved out, and it was just me and him, and then I got a roommate, which is Andrew, who's over there.
Did you have any sort of relationship with him?
Yeah, he was my boyfriend.
Let me try to put this together. You were living in this apartment with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Copeland moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he got kicked out of his parents' house.
Was he your boyfriend at the time?
Yes.
So your mother took him in?
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 20.
So you were 18, you moved in with us, she was 16.
Yes.
And how old were you when your mother moved out?
18.
Where did she go?
She moved in with her boyfriend in Phillips Ranch.
Leaving you and Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
And who paid the rent in this place?
I paid half and he paid the other half.
Is that right?
Yeah, I paid my half.
What was the rent?
The rent was originally $800, and then we got a roommate and moved to 9, so we all paid $300.
How large a place is this?
3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Now, you had an argument, it didn't work out, whatever. You were moving out.
Yeah.
And what items did you take with you when you left?
Took my clothes, my PlayStation, my games.
Now, what is it that you claim Miss Marks belongs to you?
The PlayStation took was half mine. And
how was it half yours?
Because we went halves on it, like we bought it together.
Is that right?
No. It was my money because I was the only one that had a job at the time, and I paid for it with my money.
No, I had money because my grandma gives me money and my mom gives me money.
Did you pay for this in check?
No, I paid for it in cash.
How am I supposed to tell who paid for it?
I don't know, but other than that,
I don't know either.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Zana Marks says ex-boyfriend Michael Copeland owes for a loan, the return of her belongings, and property damage.
Now let's get to the $750 that you claim was a loan. Tell me about it.
In about August, end of July, beginning of August.
Of what year?
2002. I lent him money because he wanted a system for his car, and he didn't have all the money by himself because he was working, I think, at the liquor store for his uncle then. Actually, no, this was when he was not working at all. It was a period when he did not have a job at all. So I lended him the rest of the money so he could get his system and his car. And my friend here, Tana, she saw me lend him the money. She knows that it was a loan, and I asked for it back. And we were going out, so it wasn't a big deal that he wasn't paying me back right away. And then once we broke up and we had a bad breakup, I'm like, pay me back my money.
She gave me the money.
How much money did she give you?
She gave me $750 to help me for my stereo system in my truck.
Why did somebody who was unemployed need a $750 stereo system?
I don't know.
Well, think of a reason.
I really wanted it.
You mean there was nothing else that you wanted that was more important than a stereo system in your car when you're unemployed? How about wanting a job?
I had a job coming in a couple weeks.
And you couldn't wait?
No, Your Honor.
Does that make you sound pretty stupid?
Yes.
So pay her back her money. Do you understand? She's going to school. She's getting money from her mother, who left her in your custody because you're 2 years older, to go live with her boyfriend. So her grandmother gives her money, her mother gives her money, and she's going, did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
Perfect. So you got a lot of nerve taking the money from her anyway. If you want to be a fool with your own money, that's your problem. Don't be a fool with her money. Now, you want to tell me about this damaged property?
Okay, like a few days after we broke up, he came over, he was upset because there was some misconceptions that I cheated on him when we were going out, and this is the reason he broke up with me. And so he was mad about that, that's going to upset someone, of course. And so he came back over and he was had been drinking a lot that night, and he was really upset, and he just he broke the table.
Which
he
table?
carved into it, the kitchen dining room table. And he was really drunk and really upset, so me and Andrew locked ourselves in my bedroom, and he came to break down the door, and so he was banging on the door so hard it broke the door. And so I opened the door, and then he just passed out after that.
Did you have the kitchen table fixed?
No, I did not. He got me a replacement table that was some $15 what did you call it, particle board? Yeah. Particle board table, and my other one was a pine table, which was really nice.
Did you get her a particle board table?
It was not a particle board table.
Did you get her a replacement
yes,
table?
Yes, I got a replacement table.
Well, why would you get her a replacement table if you don't remember breaking her original table?
Because I remember carving into it, because I had carved into it probably about 2 months before.
Carved into it with what?
With a knife.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
What did you carve into it?
Just like dots.
What?
Just like stuff. Like.
What do you mean stuff?
I didn't really carve anything into it. I just like cut it up and stuff.
You mean you're sitting there just whittling
on
the kitchen table? Shh. You don't look like you're an unintelligent person, but you sound like an unintelligent person. That's being deceptive. If you're going to be unintelligent, you should look unintelligent. Now, what about the door?
The door, when he was hitting on it,
I know it broke, so did you have it fixed?
No, I did not yet.
Do you have an estimate to fix it?
Yeah.
Let me see the estimate to fix the door. I'll take a look at all of her pictures, Bird.
Okay. Well, there's the picture of the broken door. And these two are the estimates of the door.
Okay, so you can have the door fixed for $150 you can take care of. This is an interior door?
Yeah.
All right. Are these the scratch marks you made on the top of the table with a knife?
I believe so.
I don't know what this Pasadena Furniture Company, $900 for a pine table?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was pretty ridiculous. My original estimate, I thought pine table like $200-300 at the most.
That's all you're getting for it, $250 for a pine table. Let's see what we have. We have $750 for the must-have stereo system. $250 for the pine table and $150 for the door. $1,150. You're going to have to deliver a lot of pizza, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,150. That's
রাস্তা বুঝছিস সুন্দর কত সুন্দর না একবার রাস্তা সব কত সুন্দর রাস্তা একদম নিরিবিলি রাস্তা আশেপাশে কত সুন্দর গাছ জ্ঞান যাবে নাই কিছু নাই বিষয়টা হয়েছে কি এই যে ডাক্তারগুলো হয়েছে জনগণের টাকা দিতে
হ্যাঁ সাত মনছে আসলে ছুটি দিছে 3 দিন ছুটি দিছে মঙ্গল বুধ বৃহস্পতি 3 দিন শুক্রবার দিন আবার